The following is brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. We can tell me how we can do it together. When we look at the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PNP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting high, I wonder when it all goes now, comrades. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. We can tell me how.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party. The following is brought to you by the People's National Party.
Make the trumpets play. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. They can tell me how we can do it together. When we look at the future of precipice, we see Jamaica needs the vision of the PNP. People said the bag of promises, them can't carry go shop. And the crime rate getting high, I wonder when it all goes now, comrades. Jamaican people want better. Economy coming like stormy weather. Ancestors are turning on them grave. We can tell me how.
The proceeding was brought to you by the People's National Party.
The scale of dealing with anti-corruption issues. So there is a learning curve that we are going through. What is important is that the government supports the development of the institution so it can accelerate very quickly on that learning curve and provide the resources so that they can move very quickly on the learning curve, and that the government does not intervene or interfere. And that message goes to the opposition as well. Leave the anti-corruption and policing agencies to do their jobs. I don't want you come to me with that foolishness, you know. You elect a prime minister, and is a prime minister run the country. It is time we learn to hold our leaders accountable for their actions and stop making excuses for them. Stop making excuses. Otherwise, go elect the people who really run in the country. And I don't want the right stand that stupid argument. Hold the people you elect accountable and stop making excuses for them.
Hello, welcome. Happy Friday. Happy Friday to everyone in television land. Happy Friday to our silent supporters. Happy Friday to everyone in the chat. Hope everyone had a wonderful and productive week, and looking forward to getting some rest on the weekend. And we must say happy Easter to everyone. Happy Good Friday. Hope everyone is having a happy Easter so far. Tonight's topic is Andrew Holness needs to resign and the threat to our democracy, with your host Byron, Anne-Marie, Pastor Ricky. Remember, guys, when you come in, thumbs up the live, share us out if you can. And if you're new to the channel, please show us some support by subscribing. That will be greatly appreciated. And remember, guys, our membership is still active. For those who want to join our membership to give a little extra support to the channel, that will be greatly appreciated as well. And let me just remind you about an upcoming event, which is Patel Yard Style Barbecue, which is coming up on April 25th over there in Yala, St. Thomas. And there's a number, an 876-441-2284, that you can call for further information. So please show Patel some support. Let me go ahead and welcome those in the chat. And I want to say a special shout out to our channel members tonight. And I see Falmouth Girl 2 is already in the chat. Big up yourself. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that extra support. So Beverly, Don Mill, Truck Life, Louis Longshaw, Patel Cruikshank, Doris McCoy, Beres White, John Gotti, Rennie Swaby, Devon Fletcher, Falmouth Girl 2, Alkebulan, HVAC Services, Dwight Gray, Gloria Swaby, Chrisani Frey, Dwight Gray, JP Pamela Okolo, Violet Watson, Yukal Allen, Jeffrey Worrell, Desmond Mary, Garrick Wilson, Murph Gordon, Creative Minds, RCS Blue, Laris Beckford, Charmaine Murray, Winnie Mead, Douglas Stewart, Transley Thompson, Silmo, Seaga McCarthy, Garrick Wilson, Montague James, bless up on yourself and welcome. Without any delay, without any delay, let's ask Pastor Ricky to lead us off in a word of prayer.
Tonight,
that sounds good.
tonight is serious. So tonight
I
is fun.
had to get my doctorate in theology, but at least I would go to school and earn mine. I won't get the meat and everybody doctor when I'm not. Amen.
All right.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Good Friday to everyone in the chat. Again, Lady Anne Marie, Sir Byron, both, God bless you both. Let us pray. Father, we thank you one more time for sparing our lives to live to see another beautiful day that you have made. We thank you for the air we breathe. We thank you for the food we eat, the roof over our head, the clothes on our back. Thank you for our children, our family, our household. We ask this afternoon that you'll breathe a fresh wind on tonight's program. We pray for your daughter, Lady Anne Marie, that you will continue to give her the grace, the strength as she navigates through the different clips and documents, that you will guide her thoughts and her thinking and guide her hands. We come against every type of interference. We bind every type of distortion. We bind the internet acting up or dropping in the name of Jesus. Bless your son, Sir Byron. We thank you for the sacrifice that he has made day after day, week after week, to do deep dive research and bring the truth and the facts to educate, to empower, to equip the people that are watching, the family in the chat, those who will be watching after the program is ended. We just ask that you bless your son, Sir Byron, continue to bless his thoughts and his thinking, and lead and guide him, instruct him and direct him tonight in the name of Jesus. Bless everyone in the chat. Bless their spouses, their children, their household and family, and bless the rest of bloggers in the space. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
What a wonderful prayer. And yes, right, a prayer that we all needed.
Amen.
To my Jamaican people, I want to say once again, big thank you, right, to make it Mystic Sensation tonight. Now, my Jamaican people home and abroad, what I'm going to reveal tonight is, of course, is going to seal, right, the Jamaica Labour Party chances of any third term that they are thinking about.
That's right.
And Jamaican people, let me tell you without any hesitation and with great confidence that it is not the third term that is loaded. What is loading is the prison term. Trust me, Jamaican people.
Amen.
We have some information that, again, one of the best investigators in the Caribbean, and we all know her and respect her, right, had done some deep dive, right? And of course, the information was sent to me, and we will be showing Jamaican people. Now, let me say this. Andrew Holness and its entire administration decided that they are going to enrich themselves on the back of poor people. They have no conscience And so you want to see what we are going to reveal tonight. But before I get there, let me just give some praises to ISAT Buchanan for the great job that ISAT Buchanan is doing as it relates to Eastern Portland. I want the chat to, acknowledge this, and I want all the people who are listening to acknowledge, and particularly East Portland. ISAT, trust me, is making a significant difference. A wonderful, wonderful candidate. One that is going to enhance good governance. One that is going to bring about creativity, right, as it relates to leadership. A leader that is very strong. A leader that is going to put his shoulder to the wheel. A leader that believes that educating a nation is where it begins for the nation progress. A leader that has similar characteristics to Ibrahim Traore. And when I see how ISAT Buchanan is moving, and many of the People's National Party candidates, like Alan Bernard, right, Nikisha Burchell, right, majority of the candidates.
Raymond Price,
Damian Crawford, you name it.
Gensec too, don't forget Gensec.
Gensec, right? Such rich embodiment of leadership, strong leadership, right? And which their ship is sailing to ensure that they stay away from corruption. My Jamaican people, tonight we're going to show you how the Holness administration had, I would want to say, without any hesitation, because it is the truth, and someone will say that, Byron, I think you're too extreme. But I honestly believe that Andrew Holness administration commit treason against the Jamaican people. That's where I'm going.
Yeah.
In terms of what I'm going to reveal. I know I can understand fully well, why they are now fighting against the Integrity Commission deputy corruption investigator, the deputy corruption prosecutor.
Yeah.
Right? That based on what, and let me tell Jamaica this. What is going on now and what I'm going to reveal, there is an active investigation that is going on as we speak. I'm going to reveal some of it tonight. And so I'm telling you that this one is big. When we think that what we have gone through, that the Jamaica Labour Party, look, the level of corruption, people, the level of corruption. But we are going to amaze a lot of people tonight. Now, let us visit Brother ISAT Buchanan, right, in East Portland, right? Reaction to ISAT Buchanan. And let us see what Brother ISAT is going on with. Brother ISAT, I am telling you, right, that man is doing such an awesome job. And we so much appreciate it and love Brother ISAT.
I am your voice. Currently, you have no voice at all.
They got to go, they got to go.
Broke the vase.
They got to go, they got to go.
It is a fact that in Portland Eastern, them take away Blue Lagoon from the men who used to make a living there.
I know me what people rent me off yard. They got to go, they got to go.
Prospect fishing village is being taken away from the young men and women who have their businesses that they strive and survive from. We are in a parish where water is running rampant through streams and waterfalls and rivers. And guess what? It's drying at the pipe. If you're not buying the water, you're dead for thirsty. And you have to buy it from the bar's truck.
They got to go, they got to go.
It is a fact that everything that is beautiful that belongs to you, you are being disenfranchised from this current government, and your MP is incapable of advocating for you. The true meaning of upliftment will come from strong advocacy. The economy in Portland Eastern, right as I'm talking to you, is dead. Your government has failed you. And that is why time come for change. There can be no third term. None.
They all gotta go.
Amen. Amen.
All right. There can be no third term.
Never.
Guaranteed. And anybody, I want to see how the chat is going to react. For those who believe that the prison term is loading, type yes in the chat. I want to make sure that you are following me tonight. You know. For those of us who believe that the prison term is loading, type yes in the chat, because I'm telling you, when they are talking about third term, people, Jamaica Labour Party, let me warn you, it is the prison term that is loaded. And this is no joke about it. The prison term is loading. Now, let me say this, because I'm not even going to waste any time, right? I am just going to get into the Zara Burton investigation and what Zara Burton unfolded. When I look on the level of corruption and see how the government suppressed the information as it relates to certain information that Zara Burton had requested as it relates to AI, access to information. Let me tell you people, right? This current Integrity Commission chief means business. And I am happy and I am proud that for once we are going to have, right, a journey towards transparency, checks and balance and good governance. We are happy that someone in the space, like the corruption prosecutor, will be able now to look on the evidence and call it for what it is. And of course, will now involve the judiciary in the space. Simply mean that the court, right, the judges are important, right, to make the decision in the process, as opposed to, right, the previous corruption prosecutor who believe that, okay, let me decide it from now, right? No. We have situation now where we are journeying towards checks and balance and good governance, and we have a solid jurisprudence, right? Most of our judges are solid. And I know that from once you're being over Mystic Sensation always saying that the only part of the criminal justice system that is hindering us is, of course, the DPP and the investigation of the criminal justice. Those are the two that Andrew Holness was able to manipulate. However, the judiciary stand resolute, right? And we have seen several times where the judiciary pushed back and said, no, you are breaching the rights of the Constitution, the rules of the Constitution, and we are not going to allow you to do it. Well, I am telling you, remember, we have gone through the storm as it relates to Andrew Holness' administration and the level of corruption. Now we are partially at the end of the tunnel, that we are barely now seeing some light shining through. And trust me, my Jamaican people, let me say this to Andrew Holness and his administration be prepared. Be prepared, sir, right? Because the prison term is loading, not the third term. Without any delay, let me get in, because after the Zara Burton investigation that we are going to go through, right? I am going to go through Juliet Holness. I want to stand on the podium, you know, because this class tonight is especially for you, Juliet Holness. Especially for you. But let us go through, right, the corruption of the administration and the investigation as it relates to Zara Burton investigation, right? Let us go to 18 degrees north. And remember, we have Jeopardy in the space, so Pastor Ricky, right? We could try to, you know, run it fast, right? And don't extend too much on the time, right? Okay, my Jamaican people here. Okay, yes, let me see if I can. All right, my Jamaican people. Now, this is what we call bangarang. And I want this to be shared out to the world. People want to like up the live, right? Because, of course, tonight is serious. Bangarang tonight. Now, people, here it is. Transparency of public-private partnerships in question as Jamaican government blocks access to $14.75 billion Vinci lead water deal. My. People, let us get into this. This is real bangarang. When we think that it can't get any worse, it gets worse, right? So we know how it's going from bad to worse, right? And from worse to worst. But this one here, right? Yeah, it's worse. Now, let us get into it. And I want you to see here, right? Kevin Carr, NWC acting president, right? Here is Kevin Carr photo, right? Mr. Kevin Carr, you need to hand over the information, right? You have Andrew Holness. Have you suppressing the information? Well, let me tell you something. The Integrity Commission investigators start on one year already, you know. So no matter how you hold it, Mr. Kevin Carr, no matter how you hold it, this situation start to investigate. Sorry for no. This week, the 18 degrees north is expecting the outcome of a review requested from Kevin Carr, acting president of Jamaica's National Water Commission, regarding a denied access to information ATI requests. Can you imagine? Right? Andrew Holness, the dictator. Andrew Holness, the dictator. But you have to lift up this information. And let me tell you something, Andrew Holness. The Integrity Commission investigators start to investigate this. So no matter what you say, you can't hide this. You know? You cannot hide this. The request made by 18 degrees north was for a copy of the NWC public-private partnership agreement with Royal Cobre Water Limited, the private consortium led by French construction giant Vinci that's supposed to construct and operate a new treatment plant in St. Catherine to add 15 million imperial gallons of water each day to the nation's water supply. Let us see how this work out. The denial on March 14 followed a February expose by 18 degrees north that revealed the project's cost had quietly ballooned from $76 million, my Jamaican people, which is equivalent to 12.22 billion Jamaican dollars in 2022 to now $92 million. In bracket, Jamaica, $14.75 billion. When we talk about nepotism and cronyism, you know, coming at this to people, which are still not being announced to the public. If Zara Burton never dig out this, you know, Jamaica, none of us would have known about this. So for Mystic Sensation, I'm saying big applaud to Zara Burton. Right? Zara Burton, I am telling you, we respect you for this one. The increased cost came after Minister of Finance Favour Williams in December 2024. People, you want to see what Favour did, you know. We can't make up these people. Favour, I can't believe, Favour, let me talk to you, Favour. I can't believe that you as a decent person subjected yourself, to be subjected, right, and be corrupted by Andrew Holness, because we know say Andrew Holness, they tell you to do this, you know. If but I suppose, you know, is Andrew Holness to pull you down in the corruption of Favour Williams. Andrew Holness, Favour. Andrew Holness is pulling you down in the corruption. Now, Minister Favour Williams in December 2024 overrode, people no listen, overrode objections from Darlene Morrison, right? The most senior technocrat in her ministry. Can you imagine? The permanent secretary, right? Where Favour Williams overrode her objections. Eh? So Favour now the tell Jamaica said she no respect procurement guidelines. No, Favour, who put you up to this? Ask me Andrew Holness. And that is one of the, let me tell you something, Jamaican people. Whenever you see people move in certain position, if Andrew Holness is not certain that such person is going to criminalize themselves, Andrew Holness now put them in there. Andrew Holness is not going to put them inside there. No. And so let us read back this over. That's why I want the people to get it. Right? The increased cost came after Minister of Finance Favour Williams in December 2024 overrode objections from Darlene Morrison, the most senior technocrat in her ministry, and approved a revised weighted average interest rate of 15.16%, up from 9.5%, even as the bulk of the financing was coming from international lenders. Remember, taxpayer pay back this, And this is what Andrew Holness administration is doing to poor people. This is what Andrew Holness administration is doing to Jamaica people. Right? Now, from international lenders, IDB, Invest, and French Development Agency, Proparco, and global rates were declining. Even although global rates were declining, you watch criminality in the people. Let me make you understand it. Even although global rates were declining, Favour Williams overrode the permanent secretary in her ministry, right? And give approval rate, revised weighted average interest rate. You understand? Moving it from 9.5% to 15. Tell me if this is another art of criminality and wickedness. Wickedness. Now, European Central Bank just this morning cut its main interest rate for the third time this year to 2.25. Tell me if Andrew Holness administration love and care for Jamaican people. Tell me, people. Please. Tell me when you see them something here. In response to slowing growth and Donald Trump tariff. Even in spite of Donald Trump tariff, Andrew Holness have favored. You understand? Bypassing the permanent secretary who denied it and said, no, this is wickedness. This is what the permanent secretary said. No, this is wickedness. Favour Williams overrode her decision. Now you tell me if you love Jamaican people. You tell me if the government you love Jamaican people. Though the Jamaican government won't directly shoulder the debt, RCWL will recoup its investment by selling water to the government-owned NWC, which will impact the money losing the entity, right? And potentially consumers. So consumers have to buffer that. Consumers have to buffer that. So Andrew wanted to have love and care for me. And Andrew wanted to talk how he's going to bring down all our electricity. So this is what Andrew wants to do now. Bringing down claims and bring down electricity. Right? And I use this now. You understand? To party up. To catch back. Never start a wickedness here. I say you love Jamaican people. Which is why approval from the Ministry of Finance was needed in the first place. You hear that, people? This is why approval from the Ministry of Finance was needed in the first place. But Favor said, bring the permanent secretary. We don't want to hear nothing from the permanent secretary. We could do what we are doing. Criminal them enough. But despite these implications, the NWC refused to release the agreement citing Section 20. You see it? Yes, because they're under the pressure of Andrew Holness not to release the information, and yet you love Jamaican people. You're going to be transparent to Jamaican people. You're going to speak the truth to Jamaican people. And you understand, to suppress your people them, not to release the information for the Jamaican people to know the truth of what is happening in this particular situation. The very same thing that you are doing into SSL as it relates to the crowd report. But me and tonight, you know. You understand? When we say Tam Tavares comes to PNP, well, let me tell you something, Tam Tavares. Tonight, Mystic Sensation comes to the GLP. Me want to tell you that Tam Tavares. Pastor Ricky and Mystic Sensation come to the GLP tonight. Which exempts disclosure if a document would reveal trade secrets, the people that want to know the truth, and armed commercial interests. You hear that, people? Public-private partnership are some of the most capital-intensive contracts in Jamaica, with each worth over $10 million US, in bracket 1.58 billion Jamaican dollars. During the March 2024 groundbreaking of the Royal Cobra Water Treatment Plant, Prime Minister Andrew Holness hailed PPPs as among the creative ways to make infrastructure's investment without adding to the public debt. You hear him lie and wicked. People, you hear him lie. Hey, trust me, man, believe you me. Hey, you hear how he lie and wicked. Hey? When I run political kickback, you hear what I have to say, people. You hear what I have to say.
The only way that those governments knew how to do it would have been to borrow. And so what precisely, my friend? So while you may get improved water, you get more debt with it. And when you get more debt, inevitably you must get more taxes. So you will get budgets coming with more taxes. Now we have made a commitment that we're going to run the economy in such a way that we care about you, that we don't place a burden on you. And so we are going to find the creative ways of making these investments so that these investments do not become a burden on you. We are doing this, and we have read a budget where there are no new taxes to fund any of the investments that we are making in infrastructure. This has to be said.
My. It really takes Jamaican people to don't see them. Them on here. Really disrespect Jamaican people. Even the company, their rates supposed to be protected. And his administration agree with the company. You understand? I'm going to rate for the Jamaican people. And come out of the audacity. They tell Jamaican people, no new taxes.
But only increased rate.
No new taxes, and I tell people, say, in the meantime, that you are getting these water, some of the water where we are going now, you have to put look at shit in it too. And I must that. Because you know, the people that drink shit water, E. coli in our water. You understand? But what I am saying in terms of this cruelty, you understand? That Andrew Holness administration, along with this company, right, agreed to hike up the rate on consumers. And saying that no new taxes.
Only increase indirect taxes.
Jamaica Prime Minister Andrew Holness at the Rare Water Treatment Plant groundbreaking in March 2024, where he makes the case for public-private partnership as among the creative ways to fund infrastructures to avoid adding to the public debt, so Jamaican don't get burdened with new taxes. You hear what the man said? You that Jamaican don't get burdened with new taxes, and yet. So the added increases. You understand on the water rate is that people are going to pay more. They're going to pay more.
But they're going to pay more in taxes on it because
and pay more in taxes in it.
You understand? In indirect taxes.
And if you notice in the meeting when I talk, some of the people might turn out their face. Some of the people who have sense.
Look at each other.
You understand?
What the hell is he saying?
Because you can't go there so and talk to those people who have sense. You understand? If I can carry that on the campaign, go down in the ghetto, we shot him, can get some clap, and people clap him. The people who don't know why my talk say. You understand? Clap him. You understand? No, this is crazy. But because people tend to rely more on private sources of funding rather than on the public purse, they can bypass traditional public procurement procedures on the other paper. Instead, according to the PP policy revised in 2023, the Cabinet, through the PP units of the Development Bank of Jamaica and the Ministry of Finance and Public Service takes responsibility for strategic oversight of the PP program, including policy and process. Each PP in Jamaica must be approved by the Cabinet, right? Must be approved by the Cabinet. Here into this situation where you have the permanent secretary, right, refuse and favor Williams, right, overrode her decision. But this system of approval presents hurdles to accessing information. A basic request sent on March 14 requesting whether the rail recovery contract had received Cabinet approval. The date of the approval and the amount approved was denied by the Cabinet Office under Section 15, subsection 1. See them ID information on paper. They don't want to get about it. Of the ATI law, access to information, that is what ATI means, which shields Cabinet documents. Are PPPs supposed to be studied in secrecy? That is the question that Zarburn is asking. The difficulty in getting information regarding this particular PPP agreement seems at odds with the PPP policy in Jamaica, of course, which outlines that the government of Jamaica is committed people to probity and transparency in all aspects of its PPP program, and that transparency procedures are the government's commitment to ensure that information about the project is available to the public. Andrew Holness don't want to know. Andrew Holness administration don't want us to know. The corrupted government doesn't want us to know. The kleptocratic government doesn't want us to know because he's preserving the political kickbacks. The policy detail that the Access to Information Act will apply to all PPP projects, and PPP contracts may be published after they become effective, subject to any confidentiality requirements. It is on this basis that 80 Degrees North on March 19 requested a review of the rejection from the NWC SCAR as allowed under the law, and on the basis that Section 11 of the ATI Act mandates that non-exempt parts of documents be shared. A similar request for a review was also requested earlier this week on April 14 from Cabinet Secretary Audrey Sewell. Now let me tell you something, people, about Audrey Sewell. A long time Audrey Sewell, people may are telling you this. A long time Audrey Sewell and Andrew Holness link. Let me walk me on eye people about Audrey Sewell. When Andrew Holness was in the Ministry of Education, Audrey Sewell was Andrew Holness' permanent secretary. Andrew Holness, let me get into the secret and tell you people. This woman here is the disease. Andrew Holness now make sure, say, you understand, she is the cabinet secretary, you know. Right? That means that she's responsible for all of the permanent secretaries, you know. And Andrew Holness make sure that she did that, you know, because she, Audrey Sewell, in the criminality with Andrew Holness from 2006 to 2009, you know, people. Between 2006 to 2009, Audrey Sewell, in the corruption with Andrew Holness, you know. And I'm not tell Audrey, let me expose the truth now, Audrey. The contract between Gavin and Andrew Holness between 2006 to 2009, right? You know, deal with some of that, Audrey Sewell. You know, breach procurement guidelines and deal with some of that for Andrew Holness. You want to come out and say I like this? A long time, Andrew Holness make sure, say, him carry with him. To now make you now becomes the cabinet secretary. So you now responsible for all of the permanent secretary. So everything get loose. And where the gaps now can't continue to be allowed. Because everything comes through Audrey Sewell. So she is the king corrupter who is making Andrew Holness get all of the feeds. More of the people have understand, you know, who is Audrey Sewell, you know. Audrey Sewell, you understand, she's the one who in charge of all of the permanent secretaries there. She's the cabinet secretary, you know. So she's the one at the helm. But she has been there with Andrew Holness from 2006, come straight up. Right? So she understands the art of the corruption and know how to work the art of corruption. You understand where Andrew Holness is concerned. So this is the woman that Jamaica need to understand is the art of the corruption, Audrey Sewell. It states that the PPP list will be published after it's approved by cabinet. And whether it is updated by the PPP unit. The ATI request for the Rio-Cobre PPP agreement was sent on March 25 to the DBJ, which has a PP unit, and it hasn't been honored yet on the other people. Though the initial 30-day clock hasn't fully run its course. I mean, if Zara Burton is going to back on it. IC request PP information. Separately, the Integrity Commission earlier this month, listen to the people. Me said Andrew Holness now will get to it. Separately, the Integrity Commission earlier this month announced that its Director of Investigation, Kevin Stevenson, had requisitioned 12 public bodies to submit detailed particulars and PPs. On the hear no people, me tell them there's a big investigation going on. So that is why they are panicking. Big investigation going on right now as we speak, people. Now, land and asset, right, divestitures and acquisitions that were executed by them from July to December 2024. We want to understand what they go on, people. The IC said the goal is to create a web-based system to boost accountability and transparency of the information that would be requested by annually. Now, me want Audrey Sewell to get in trouble. Of note is that more than half of the government bodies targeted under the IC's new initiative fall under who? Prime Minister Holness oversight. Let me read about that. Let the people understand. Of note, my people, is that more than half of the government bodies targeted under the IC's news initiative fall under who? None other than the king corrupter, Prime Minister Holness oversight. Andrew Holness at the helm of these entities that have been requested to come forward, right, and update certain documentation, including the National Land Agency, me could go down in it. Bang around the desk people. Urban Development Corporation and the Ministry of Economic and Growth and Job Creation, bang around the desk. However, PPs from the NWC, which the Prime Minister, you know, also overseas, were not on the list as having been requisitioned. The NWC car has until April 18th to
Today the 16th.
Today the 16th. 2 more days now we are giving car. Mr. Car, we are giving you 2 more days. Today the 18th.
Today is the 18th. Yeah.
Well, okay, all right. We are making breeze off Monday. We are making breeze off Monday because Monday no holiday.
Monday is a holiday, yeah. Easter Monday.
So Tuesday, you make sure you fly up or you have to fly up. Make sure you fly up or you have to fly up because Darabert now go tap it. You remember about that over. The NWC car has until April 18 to respond to 18 degrees north review request. It remains to be seen whether the agreement will contain key details like the terms under which the NWC will buy water from the RCWL and the original financing arrangement that was in place before the interest rate spike. Hey, people, trouble there, some people. People, Jamaica people, who see that trouble is here. Trouble is here. Now, the exchange rate used for the project cost being 76, right, million US dollars, equivalent to 12.22 billion Jamaican dollars in November 2022. And now, US 92 million, right, equivalent to 14.75 billion. And this Andrew administration of the people of Jamaica. You understand? As it relates to now, they are going to, you understand, deal with the water and put that extra rate for the people. Political kickback this, you know. Political kickback this, you know. Right? So, then they have food after that. Andrew will tell them a food after this. You understand? Who is them a food after this? After the extra billions of dollars. What come here to? Right? Because it leave from, see the people, it leave from $76 million, right, to $92 million, extra food and shopping that in people. Me make you understand what going on. From 12.22 billion to 14.75 billion. So they must chop up 2.8 billion in the choppings and yammings, you know. And then guess what now? The Jamaican people have to pay for it. The Jamaican people have to pay for this. Now, in December 2024 was based on conversion in a letter December 2024 from Minister Matthew Samuda, who shares responsibility for the water sector with Prime Minister Holness. Otherwise, the exchange rate used for the other conversion was the current rate on the XC.com at 157.91, right? US dollars, US $1, right? Now, take this away, people. Take this away, on. Now, Pastor Ricky, what you call to this? A man who come out and claim that in easing up the pressure of the Jamaican people. Because no new taxes, and yet him and the company, you understand, agree to step up the rate even when the world has got through a crisis with Donald Trump tariff and people bringing down interest rate. You know they work with the company. You understand? To raise up the rate, oh my God, man, the money are extremely wicked. Pastor Ricky takes away.
Yeah, they increased the rate from 9.5% to 15.1%. which is going to generate more kickback for them and more money that they're going to charge the Jamaican people. This reminds me of Cornwall Regional Hospital when they start out with a $2 billion project, and now it's a $27 billion. I mean, the overage, the kickbacks, the scheming off of the top for themselves has added to the value of what it is now. And so, you know, this is big up Zara Burton, you know, in her Substack, investigational journalism Substack that she keeps releasing to bring transparency, because this government consistently hides from the public what they don't want us to know. And so we're grateful that we don't have to rely on traditional media, that we have people like Zara Burton, Mystic Sensation, Sir Rattigan, Father Lonesome, you know, Andre Stevenson, just to name a few, who will put in the work to dig, deep dive and search and bring the information to the front. But what's interesting is also that Favor, you know, as old as she is, has compromised herself for political favors and doesn't realize that the web that she's a part of is probably going to have her spend the rest of her life in prison, because when the prime minister gets taken down in corruption and criminality, he's not going to be the only one going to prison. A whole slew of them in the GOP party will be going to prison with him. And so when we look at, you know, the project that started out at $12.22 billion, but then they inflate the value of what it is to over now $14.75 billion, which is an equivalence of over $2.53 billion. And so where is that? Who estimated the project to cost that much? One of the things that strike me, Sir Byron, in the title of the project, you know, the public-private partnership, the 3 Ps, collaborating with Vinci, lead, water. Now, lead in water is not good, and water should not have lead in it. This is what happened to Flint, Michigan, water supply a couple of years ago in the United States, that they tested the water and the water had lead in it. So Vinci lead water is kind of making me have to go do some research tomorrow on this, because water should not have lead in it. Lead in water is poisonous. So what type of water supply is he bringing to the people of Jamaica? You know, when he said that he doesn't care about the people of Jamaica. He cares about money. This is what he cares about. He always scheming off every projects and getting kickbacks. And so when you look at this from $12.22 billion project to now $14.75 billion, and that's current, even though interest rates are being cut by the European Union Bank and the Inter-America Development Bank. And so you wonder, come a few months from now, will this project go from 14.75 billion to over 15 or 16 billion? Just the way we see Cornwall Regional, you know, started at 2 billion, then it went to 5 billion, then it went to 7 billion, then it went to 10 billion, then it went to, I believe, in the teens, and now it's 22 billion. Now it's 27 billion. So we see the pattern of this government where things consistently are over inflated, overflated, I should say, so that they can get the money, the kickbacks from it, and put in their pockets and enriching themselves. But I'm just gonna stop right here because of the time. Because
Exactly.
I know you said don't do it too long, but go ahead. I'm back over to you.
Thank you so much, you know, short and spicy input that you have put there, right? People, when we talk about the level of corruption, and now we understand why they are fighting to make sure that they stay in governance, right? Now, even when we see that the court step in as it relates to Portmore, right, being a parish, right, the 15th parish, right, to avoid the gerrymandering from the Jamaica Labour Party because they want to facilitate Terry Langton to win that seat. However, we have seen where Juliet Holness now is trying to now extend and try to go against even the judge ruling, even when the judge halted it. Juliet Holness makes the point of our duty, right, to want to push against the walls of justice. Want to go against the Constitution. But Mr. Tonight, people, look here. At JLP, me come for tonight. Me and Pastor come for JLP tonight. Now,
every time.
Let me show, right? Because also, we have seen them trying to want to say that, okay, election may not call September. So then, me write for the Constitution, and I'm going to make the people in the seat. So, Andrew Holness, you have to. Me not ask you, you have to call.
Yeah.
And no matter what you are doing, me never show the people them where you have to call it. Now, without any delay, let us get to the legislature, Jamaica Information Service. Let us get to that and show the people. So, we don't matter what I'm saying, right? We don't matter what they are saying. Now, people, let me share it with you so that all of us can be properly informed. And we don't watch them loud knives. You understand? We don't watch them loud knives. The Jamaican Parliament consists of two houses, the Senate, right, also called the Upper House, and the House of Representatives, also known as the Lower House. And the British monarch, the Governor General, represents the monarch in Parliament once a year at the official opening of Parliament. The Governor General delivers the throne speech. Beyond this, his or her parliamentary function is limited to his or her formal assent to bills passed by the two houses of Parliament. The maximum life of a Parliament is 5 years. We can teach them now. At the end of which Parliament must be dissolved. I can read back that over for full understanding. The maximum life of a Parliament is 5 years. At the end of which Parliament must be dissolved and a general election held. However, the Prime Minister may advise the Governor General to dissolve Parliament at any time within the 5 years and name a date for a general election. Also, Parliament must be dissolved and a general election held if a majority of all the members of the House of Representatives supports a no confidence motion against the government, right? And that is what can get out of government if majority of the members of Parliament, but with Andrew Holness corrupted cabinet, you know, so that is not going to happen. So take this away. I want to show the people, say, with Andrew Holness, you understand, deciding that, okay, for some other reason, right, because they are contemplating it as it relates to what Malawi Fort is saying, is absolute foolishness, you understand? And so then, if he is not going to call it, it's simple. The Governor General must dissolve it, right? So we don't matter what they are saying, right? We only know that there are certain situations that may avoid that in case of a war, terrorism, or some act of nature which is serious and so forth. Apart from that, you must call it. And we have seen where Andrew Holness called the general election in 2020, you understand, in the height of the COVID. So he can't say anything, you know. He can't say anything, you know. He have to call it this year. Me, I tell you, Andrew Holness, I have to call it this year. Paula Lowland is going to step away in September. We are going to put in a new DPP, and we want to put in Cathy and Pikes.
Right, yeah.
Cathy and Spikes. We want to put in the DPP so that we know that, you understand, Cathy is credible. Cathy is well studied. That is the person we want to put into the DPP office. You understand? Someone who is not going to go in there and cover up government wrongdoing. Someone who is not partisan. Someone who is not a political operative. We want a Jamaican in the DPP office. We don't want no politician in the DPP office, and Paula Llewellyn is a GLP politician, is a GLP operative. We don't want that. We are get rid of her September. You go on a wait and you don't touch SSL case. You leave SSL case. Make the PNP government under SSL case. Because, I'm telling you, people, when you hear me talking, I'm not joking. Me say, not joking. Because we're not stopping. We are going to make an example out of Andrew Holness and his administration. Trust me when we say that, people. We are not going to stop it. I know a lot of JP people who are listening to me. You understand? I am telling you, be aware. Because trust me, you are going to see this administration, you understand, in the peril of hell. Now, let us move on. And you know where I'm going, people? Now, where I'm going to reveal serious corruption now. Serious corruption. And I want Juliet Holness anyway then. You understand? You can come up
send her the link.
podium.
Send her the
So
link.
let me just get the thing that I am going to deal with. Put away this right over here. So, right, let us go into real by on Facebook.
Okay.
All right, let us get into the second jugglement. Right, again, because we are juggling the people. We are juggling. I mean, serious juggling tonight. We are not. Look here, we are going to show Jamaican people the level of corruption.
Yes, indeed. Call her to the front of the class.
Come in front of the class. Understand? Fair time now. Yeah.
Portmore family, quick update in the court case. Major win for you, the people of Portmore, and a major win for the government. Today, the court has said no more injunction brought by the opposition to stop the process of Portmore becoming a parish. So I've always maintained that the government is acting in accordance with the Constitution and that the application by the PNP was just premature and but another desperate attempt for them to stop the process of Portmore becoming a parish because they're completely power hungry. So the government will continue with the process in keeping with the Constitution, and of course we look forward to the day when Portmore will become Jamaica's 15th parish. My Portmore family, quick update.
Thank you, mommy. All right, Patrick Bailey, sweetheart. Right? You can go and talk. You can go and talk out your mouth. We are here to for the truthfulness.
Well, even if I tell everybody if him was in the house when Patrick Bailey asleep and the man get unalive. That's a need for that, but
Well, that's why it's when I'm coming to them live, just like Tam Tavares, you're not we fling out them business, you know. I'm not caring, we fling out them business. Like the whole world knows how Patrick Bailey sweetheart that. Now, if we go in at the cleaner and show the liar what the Supreme Court actually said, juggle down people. Supreme Court. Jamaica clean. I come for GLP tonight, you know. GLP, are you come for? No. So, Mistress Terry Langton can go and talk with what I want to talk and him dirty lie what I want to spew. This is what the Supreme Court is saying. Supreme Court urges implementation of Portmore parish status that is in clear terms. The government has been ordered to pause the implementation of the Portmore parish law following a Supreme Court ruling that demands full compliance with constitutional procedures. The court's decision stems from a legal challenge by the opposition People's National Party, which argued that the move to grant parish status to Portmore violates Section 67 of the Jamaican Constitution related to constituency boundaries. And so then, this is a win for the People's National Party and a win for Portmore, right? So let us take that away, right? Take that away. Now, let us go to nationwide because we like to go over them place and take them things, you know. That means them can't say, I like that tell. PNP argues Parliament because we are getting serious tonight. Tonight at Bangor.
You have to work above that.
All right. PMP argues Parliamentary summoning of ECJ over Portmore boundary is improper. So we have seen now, people, where Juliet Holness now take this now to Parliament. Because as I said, it is desperate times for them. And they realize that they are at the end of the rope. And so they are doing everything in their power to stay in power. Because they know very well that when they lose the election, they are going to be investigated. Many of them are going to go to prison. Now, another potential legal battle regarding the proposed parish of Portmore could be brewing. That's why we bring it back. Because it came up again. Juliet Holness now run on. And that's why we come out for Juliet Holness. I can't represent the People's National Party, right? King Counsel Michael Hilton is sounding the alarm over a recent letter sent by the Houses of Parliament calling for the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, ECJ, to appear before its constituency boundaries committee next Wednesday, right? Because we know the decision making on this already, but we want to show the sequence of patterns and the desperation in terms of them wanting to hold on to power. The ECJ has also been requested to submit a report no later than the end of May. When you show them out order, people, this is out order, and let me press play this.
In a letter to the Clerk of the Houses of Parliament, Colleen Lowe, dated April 8, Mr. Hilton references a letter sent on her behalf to Chairman of the ECJ, Earl Jarrett, regarding the boundaries of the proposed parish of Portmore. That letter, dated April 4, asks the ECJ to attend a meeting of the Constituency Boundaries Committee of Parliament on April 16, provide an update at that meeting, and then provide a report by May 31, 2025. Mr. Hilton says the letter sent on behalf of Ms. Lowe goes beyond what had been decided by the committee during its deliberations on April 1. For reference, here are the instructions as outlined by Speaker of the House and Chairman of the committee, Juliet Holness.
We are forwarding the ruling report. That's what we're forwarding. We're forwarding a copy of what would have been attached to the Act and the Act from Parliament. We are forwarding a copy that is a little clearer in terms of color of the exact document. And the only thing I've added to what I've been reiterating is but to ask that time be considered, and it is not languishing forever, that they return to us by the 31st of May with an indication with where they are, what is the final.
With an update.
With an update. On or before the 31st. So we're just setting a timeline to say, look, by the 31st of May, they would have come back to us at the very latest.
Mr. Hilton says it would also be improper for the committee to purport to impose on the ECJ a deadline by which it should complete its work. The King's Counsel says the ECJ should not depart from its established processes in order to facilitate the government's timeline. A similar letter was sent to Attorney General Dr. Derek McCoy, also dated April 8. Dr. McCoy is advising the committee on the Portmore matter. Casey Hilton says the letter to the ECJ suggests that the committee is considering embarking upon, or has purported to embark upon, a constituency boundary amendment exercise. He says that Section 67 of the Constitution provides in relevant part that the committee shall submit reports not less than 4 nor more than 6 years from the date of the submission of its last report. Mr. Hilton says he's been instructed that the committee issued a report in January 2018. He says it would seem to him that 6 years having passed, it cannot now issue a further report. Casey Hilton says he would appreciate receiving the Attorney General's urgent comments. Last month, the Supreme Court lifted a temporary injunction which had blocked the government from proceeding with the move to turn Portmore into the country's 15th parish. It also accepted the government's position that the transition would only come into operation after the completion of the procedure outlined in Section 67 of the Constitution regarding the constituency boundaries. Siobhan Campbell for Nationwide News.
So people, so then, down to the court advised, Juliet Holness decided, Juliet Holness and the JLP administration decided that, okay, them still want it rushed through, right, prior to the election, because them want it now to be in the advantage where long-term Patrick Bailey sweetheart, you understand, get the seat. You understand, to win it. But guess what? Them could have twist, them could have turn. You understand? They are not going to get any satisfaction from that. Now let us get into the next clip. Right? They are not going to get any satisfaction on that. So that goes to show you, right, the disrespect of Andrew Holness led administration, you know. Because they decided that they are not going to act on the advice of the court, right? But they want to railroad the court. That's what they want to do, you know, railroad the court and force it through. But it not go happen. Juliet, it not go happen because you know what your bangarang to be discovered. But me and you tonight, you know. Me are getting your bangarang tonight, you know. Me and you tonight. Yes.
They must rely on the Speaker of the House, Juliet Holness, to disclose that information to Parliament and to Jamaica people. Juliet Holness, as the Speaker of the House, holds that sole responsibility for disclosing these findings to the public and to Parliament. This is where things take a turn. The Speaker of the House, Juliet Holness, is reluctant to give the names. Andrew Holness and his wife, Juliet Holness, want to divert the investigation done by the Integrity Commission and send it to a third party for review.
An extension of my question, could it be possible that we're not going to know who these are at the end of the day period?
I am beginning to suspect that that is the direction in which we are going. We should be very unfortunate.
On what basis can the Speaker of the House or the Prime Minister demand these things, right? Why do they feel the need to question the investigation? She already know who these people are. Now, where is the transparency and accountability? Your job is to table these reports for us, the people.
Why
so we
I play that clip is to show you this is not the first time Juliet Holness is behaving like that, right? In that clip showing you how Juliet Holness suppressing information, right? It is their tendency to do that, right? To suppress information. And so then when you see these patterns developing, it is the traits of a dictatorship, right? Because they don't want to, go contrary, right, to the norms of the Parliament. And in this particular situation, they want to go against, you understand, the ruling of the court, right? This is the behavior, right, of Juliet Holness. So I am showing the history of Juliet Holness as it relates to what she is known for. You understand? When she's supposed to reveal the information after it was tabled in Parliament, Juliet Holness, you understand, sat on the information. Now, this is why, from the onset, Juliet Holness should not be the Speaker of the House. This is the reason why. Because she's going to protect herself and protect her husband. In the eyes of Jamaica, let me talk to you, Jamaica people, we understand the criminality, the level of criminality. Juliet Holness' husband is under investigation. Tonight, I am going to reveal certain things that relates to Andrew Holness' statutory declaration to show people. And so then, under that circumstance, right, should be sufficient to say, no, this is a situation where automatically it is a compromised situation. You can't allow yourself to be compromised. And here it is that Andrew Holness, right, in the sight of many Jamaicans, home and abroad, used his iron fist to put his wife as the Speaker of the House. And you see what Juliet Holness is now doing and where Juliet Holness is also a part of the investigation. Not only that, that Juliet Holness is the Speaker of the House. Many people don't know that Juliet Holness now sits on the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee. Now you tell me now that the Integrity Commission, they investigate me, and me sits on the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee. And I am asking for that body of investigation to come to me, for me to approve, for me to be investigated. Think of what I'm saying to you people. Think of the level of criminality of what I'm saying to you. Andrew Holness under investigation. Both Andrew Holness and Juliet Holness under investigation. They're both under investigation. Andrew Holness is the Prime Minister. Juliet Holness is the Speaker of the House. Not only that, Juliet Holness is the Speaker of the House. Juliet Holness sits on the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee. Can't make up this.
Hey,
Can't make up this.
Sir Byron,
Pastor, something because we can't make up this.
Everybody is of the mindset and the view based upon there's 8 illicit enrichment members of Parliament, and everybody's of the view that the Prime Minister is number 1, which is already unmasked, revealed. We all know that, and his wife, the Speaker, is the number 2 on the Integrity Commission list. So there's no way she should have been on an oversight committee that is given scrutiny of the Integrity Commission. So she should have recused herself. But back over to the Portmore thing, because this is very interesting. This is a teachable moment for Jamaica. We made a mistake as a country by allowing a Prime Minister's wife to become the Speaker. It should never happen. But okay, mistakes made. Nobody's perfect. But this is a teachable moment that this should never, ever, ever happen again in Jamaica politics. Now, as it relates to Portmore, it's very clear a constituency cannot cross the boundary of a parish. It's very clear. That's the law. And for them to use Warmington in his stupidity, spill the beans and let everybody know the purpose of why they wanted to do this gerrymandering move to save an MP that should be out of Parliament a long time ago, an opportunity for him to continue in Parliament. Now, when you look at what the court says, the People's National Party, Comrade Fitz-Jackson filed an injunction, and the court looked at it and saw that it breached the Constitution. These are lawmakers that are being paid 200% to 300% more than what they were making a couple of years ago in salary. And Prime Minister said they need money to start doing the work. And now they got the money. They're still breaching the law. Now, the Supreme Court is the final court in the Jamaica space. Not talking about the Privy Council, which is the final court outside of the space of Jamaica. But the Constitution is the supreme law of the land. The Speaker knows this. Her husband knows. They all know this. But yet they're willing to try to buck the Constitution again. And what this should reveal to the Jamaican people, that you cannot trust the Prime Minister and his wife and his party to deal with matters concerning constitutionality. They are criminals, and I say that with no apology. These people don't care about the rule of law. They care about protecting themselves and care about their party. That they don't even care about the Jamaican people. They only care about labor rights and the JLP party. So for her to say this in the Parliament, it's her trying to, show that she's above the law, and she's not above the law. And so it's interesting that now the ECJ has until May 30th, May 31st to give a recommendation or an update. But remember, the gerrymandering is against the law. They can't do it. So I don't know if this is just for theatrics or semantics or gimmicks just to show that they're fighting for Portmore to become a parish, because as long as it's going to cross the parish boundary, it's illegal, it's unlawful, and it's unconstitutional. Over to you, Sir Byron.
All right, thank you very much for that. So let us continue to show, right, the bullying of Juliet Holness, right, in Parliament and her behavior, right? And again, we are saying these are the reasons as to why you can't have the Prime Minister wife, you understand, as the Speaker of the House, right? Look at this next bullying situation with her. Look at these people, right? Go against norms, right? And policies, breaching the rules.
House Speaker Juliet Holness is facing backlash for what is being described as a breach of process in her letter to Clerk to the Houses of Parliament Valerie Curtis, reprimanding her for dereliction of duty regarding the handling of Auditor General reports. Kirk Wright has our first story.
In a letter to Ms. Curtis on Friday, House Speaker Juliet Holness stated that Ms. Curtis's action in writing to the Auditor General brought the Parliament into disrepute. The letter was also copied to the Director of Human Resource Management and all members of Parliament. But President of the Jamaica Civil Service Association, Teacher Clark Griffiths, believes there should be no written reprimand from any politician to a civil servant.
The politicians doesn't understand that there's a clear dichotomy between politics and administration, and that the politicians are not permitted to write to any person in administration about any particular matter, especially a matter of discipline. There's a breach of process, and that should have been channeled to the respective minister in the respective ministry, so that that can be channeled to the permanent secretary and down to the officer.
And in the letter, Mrs. Holness also recommended that a copy be placed on Ms. Curtis's personal file. Ms. Clark Griffith says this will pose a problem.
This is a disciplinary matter that was not even aired. I mean, the person doesn't get an opportunity to speak about it or to offer a response. A letter of reprimand of this nature would have to come at the end of a hearing, after hearing both sides of what happened. Not that you just go ahead and write to somebody like that. There's a process in dealing with these type of matters, and this is not the process to deal with it.
In the meantime, Ms. Curtis says she has not seen the document and therefore is unable.
Now take it away. I am on the show in Jamaica. You understand? The bullyism, and where Juliet Holness want to discipline people, and at the same time, her husband needs discipline, and she needs discipline. As a result of that, and where people are seeing the red flags of her dictatorship, she and her husband dictatorship principles, you understand, red flags flying everywhere. Cafe is now getting serious. Jamaican people are put on alert, right, as it relates to we need an independent ombudsman. And it's very serious going to this general election. People, listen what Cafe wants. Jamaica Queen. Listen. And we have to take this thing serious. We have to take this thing serious. Here it is. Cafe wants reinstallation of single political ombudsman. Now, Cafe is putting Jamaica on the level of awareness. This is April 14, you know, people, 2025. Because they have seen the signs, the strong signs of Jamaica Labour Party dictatorship mentality. And so Cafe is putting us on alert. Now listen, people, the absence of public statement or visible enforcement of the political code of conduct by the commissioners of the Electoral Commission of Jamaica, ECJ, is deeply troubling. Is what? Deeply troubling. Daniel Archer, Principal Director of National Integrity Action, has said their silence not only erodes public trust and accountability, but also creates a dangerous vacuum in oversight during a critical period of active campaigning. The head of the civil society body told the Gleaner. At the same time, the nearly 3 decades old election watchdog, Citizen Action for Free and Fair Election, is of the view that it is not too late for a reversal of the 2024 legislative amendment to transfer the role of political ombudsman to the 9 commissioners of the ECJ. Grace Boston, chairman of CAFE, said her organization is concerned that the ECJ might be reticent in speaking out on issues where one political party is in violation, people, of the code without being perceived as taking sides in a dispute between prospective candidates. And I believe that this is a serious concern. It is problematic, and we wouldn't have been louder in our calls for this post to be filled. You hear that, people? We want to hear that, you know. We need a political ombudsman, especially at this time. I cannot utter this any louder. And even if it's only during this time of high intention, the cafe boss pointed out, Archer noted that the concerns being raised by one municipality about the erection of political signs when an election has not been called is one example of where the political ombudsman is needed. It is not known if the ECJ has intervened in that matter, but no public statement on the issue had been made up until Friday. And as we speak, I haven't heard anything myself. The NIA had argued that without the ECJ intervention, violations of ethical standard risk going unchecked. And let me give you one of them examples here. We have seen in the local government election, Pastor Ricky, when Darrell Valls caused that area to extend beyond the time. Am I right?
Yeah, to 9 p.m.
To extend 4 hours over.
Right, from 5 to...
So then it is important. So we are saying, what is going to stop Darrell Valls to repeat this again?
And they kicked Cafe out of the polling stations too. They kicked during the local government election. They kicked them out of the polling stations.
So Jamaica, this is serious, you know. Potential, here it is, potentially undermining the integrity of the electoral process and shaking the very foundation of democratic governance. This seeming inaction, said Archer, is not just concerning, but is a pressing issue that demands immediate attention and resolution. And people remember, the ECJ is in the Prime Minister's, under the Prime Minister's responsibility too. This is madness, people. We have to move the ECJ. You understand? From other such portfolio settings. Prior to the passing of the legislation to bestow on the ECJ commissioners the mandate of political ombudsman, a single person was appointed to carry out those duties. Throughout her tenure, the former political ombudsman, Dana Parchment Brown, often communicated with the public to address concerns that run counter to the political code of conduct. Andrew Holness makes sure that Andrew Holness administration cancel out the ombudsman. This is very serious, people. This is very serious. I hope you know what we're doing. Me, I want to know. I hope you know what we are doing. All right. Now, people, take it away.
Can I just say something on that, Sir Byron, real quick?
Yes, go ahead.
So the ombudsman serve as the referee between both political parties. And so you can't have the ombudsman in the ECJ office. He needs to be independent, or her, whoever they choose, needs to be an independent person that can solve dispute between both parties. Like, for example, the Portmore issue, the ombudsman would have stepped in and and tell them, say, no, no, can't do that. It's a violation against the Constitution. So that's one of the roles of the ombudsman, is to be fair and not show partiality. And then the ECJ needs to come out of the Prime Minister's office. That is a risk for not having fair and free elections. And this election coming up is too important. It is too important. It has consequential ramifications if we don't have the ECJ out of the Prime Minister's office. Over to you, Sir Byron.
Well said. And we are very concerned about that. This is Andrew Holness we are dealing with. And the whole world knows him corrupt. And the whole world knows that. You understand? He's trying everything to make sure that he doesn't go to prison. You understand? And he will do anything to hold on to power. We have to make sure we start to dig this from now. Right? This is very serious and this is very concerning to me. Now, let us get into the art of the corruption, because we are going to go back. And of course, we are going to put Juliet Holness on top of the podium.
And Sir Byron, you noticed that child said, Jen said Dr. Campbell need to come out of the ECJ doing the Lawrence Law, the battle.
Yes.
Because you remember that, yeah. So that's why the ECJ need to come out too.
Exactly. The ECJ need to come up from under the Prime Minister's office. You understand? That is a definitely wrong bomb. You understand? And I don't trust it. I can't feel comfortable with that. In spite of how, you understand, they are saying that, okay, all right, the GenSec is a part of the committee and blah, blah, blah. All of that. I hear all of that. But honestly, knowing Andrew Holness and see what Juliet Holness is now recently doing, even in spite of the court, you understand, said, halt. You understand? She's now finding a way, you understand, to rub against that. Come on, man. People need to see these things. The ECJ need to come out from out of the Prime Minister's office, out of the Prime Minister's office. You understand? This is serious.
Yeah.
Now, let us go to before we dig Juliet Holness corruption. Let us display Mark J. Golden. All right. Let us get into the juggling.
Following is a release from the People's National Party Media Unit.
On behalf of the opposition People's National Party, I wish to express our unequivocal opposition to the recent delays in the tabling of the reports from the Integrity Commission in both the upper house, the Senate, and the House of Representatives. The opposition firmly believes that the Speaker of the House and the President of the Senate have no authority to impede the timely and seamless publication of these crucial reports. The Speaker and the President of the Senate serve as mere conduits through which the reports of the Integrity Commission are to be presented to parliamentarians in the House and the Senate respectively, whereby the reports become available to the Jamaican public. The delay or interference in this process creates the perception that politically unfavorable information is being withheld from the public domain. This is dangerous, as it is inconsistent with both the rule of law and the principle of transparent governance in our democracy. It also undermines the fight against corruption, an issue which is of paramount importance for our nation at this time. Our concerns are compounded by the unprecedented decision of the Speaker, announced on Tuesday in the House, that she will be holding up the tabling of reports that she has received from the Auditor General on audits of public bodies for 2 months after receiving them. The Speaker is thereby violating a long-standing convention for the immediate tabling of the reports of the Auditor General, whose practice, well established, is to allow the public bodies to comment on our draft reports before finalizing those reports and sending them to Parliament to be tabled. The Speaker has said that she has sought the legal opinion of the Attorney General on the action she has announced, which she says arises based on her interpretation of Section 30, subsection 2 of the Financial Administration and Audit Act. The opposition firmly believes that this interpretation is flawed, as that section creates no such role for the Speaker. Furthermore, we call on the Speaker, in the interest of transparency, to adhere to the long-standing convention of immediately tabling the reports from the Auditor General, pending her receiving this opinion she has sought from the Attorney General's chambers on the matter. Then yesterday, a media house reported that the Speaker has stated that Integrity Commission reports will first be sent to the Oversight Committee of Parliament before being tabled. That would put the cart before the horse. The opposition notes that there is nothing in the standing orders that requires or permits this. That media report, if accurate, further evinces a clear intent to delay the publication of investigative reports into corruption by whatever means can be hung on to. The opposition vehemently opposes all attempts to hinder the public dissemination of the reports of the Integrity Commission and the Office of the Auditor General. These serve as crucial tools in exposing and tackling acts of corruption within our country. If the annual report of the Integrity Commission, which has been sent to Parliament, is not tabled at the next sittings of the Senate and the House, the opposition will take necessary action to register our strong protest against this unacceptable undermining of good governance in our country. The People's National Party calls upon the Speaker and the President of the Senate to fulfill their responsibilities faithfully and expeditiously by ensuring the swift and seamless flow of these reports into the public domain by tabling them promptly. The people of Jamaica deserve full access to this vital information.
Take it away on it.
To read the full release, visit our...
All right. Here where I am going, people. Tonight, I am going to show the entire world something. We have 3 years of Andrew Holness statutory declaration that he declared uncertified. I am telling Jamaica tonight that it is not only 3 years of Andrew Holness statutory declaration that cannot be certified. Andrew Holness statutory declaration as way back
2017.
From 2017 cannot be certified. We are going to prove it tonight. We're going to show the evidence. Let me say this. It is not only 3 years of Andrew Holness statutory declaration, right, that cannot be certified. These 3 years statutory declaration that cannot be certified have ripple effect on those statutory declaration that were certified. The Integrity Commission investigators admitted their errors and explained that the reason as to why they were certified, it is because they had taken Andrew Holness' words at face value. They did not investigate. People, I want you to bear this in mind. What the Integrity Commission investigators said to explain that, because I was the person who asked the question. When they started the investigation, I was the person who asked the question. I asked the question, why the Integrity Commission certified all those previous years, but have problems with the 3 consecutive years beginning 2021, 2022, and 2023. I was the person who asked that question. Well, the Integrity Commission answered and said that the reason why those were certified was to the fact that they had taken it at face value. So what Andrew Holness submitted, right, there was no investigation. They just accept them as they are. Now, why am I going there? I am going to show Jamaica certain things, even before the 2021. As it relates to Juliet Holness, show Jamaica the first thing where I am going and show Jamaica. And let me tell you something. I am doing this as a result of the new Integrity Commission chief, right, into the space, and as a result of the new, right, deputy corruption prosecutor, right, to go back and just have an understanding of what I'm saying and what I'm putting out there tonight. Now look, this is what I want them to look on. Go back to updated Juliet Holness company. I am showing something. We are not going to make them get away. All right, Annisabel Rose, steering at the chat. People remember now to go over Annisabel Rose and endorse Annisabel Rose, because trust me, she's a hard-working queen.
Amen.
You understand, working for good governance. You understand? And Annisabel Rose are one of my bonus, you know. So people who go over there, right, endorse, who sub up to Annisabel Rose, may I beg you know, sub up to her, because Annisabel Rose busy working day and night. You understand, for good governance. When you see people who work so hard, people who go over there and endorse Annisabel Rose, no hesitation. Please do that to me quick and fast. Updated Juliet Holness company wins lawsuit for title St. Andrew landowner, gets 1 million for property damage, right? But I'm just give her just brief snips at the story. Juliet Holness Real Estate Company, JAJ Development. Now, take that away on it. I am just giving a reflection as to where I am going. JAJ, right? Juliet Holness Company, right? Now, building an apartment complex at Lease Flat. The apartment complex that she's building at Lease Flat, right? Currently, as it relates to the current market value, had gone over $800 million. We have already seen that document and we all know about it already. Why Mystic Sensation is going back there? It is very important. I am going to take you through Andrew Holness' statutory declaration between the period of 18, 19, and 20. And I'm going to show Jamaica something. That Juliet Holness in court, right, between period 2020 or 2021, and where she told the judge that her apartment complex value over $800 million. Right? I wonder if we could have searched for the document and put it up for make people see Juliet Holness $800 million. But people who have seen that I showed it, you understand, know that what I'm saying is true. Now, people, I'm going to go back in the Integrity Commission investigation and show you something, right, that obviously was not picked up. Let us get back and little there summary of investigation findings. Let us bring the people here. Something that is very important. Here it is, my people. Right? Chapter 1, Summary of Investigation and Findings. This investigation report of the Director of Investigation of the Most Honorable Mr. Andrew Michael Holness, right? Into the 2021 Statutory Declaration is based on a referral by the commissioners of the Integrity Commission. First one to Section 14, subsection 5 of the Corruption Prevention Act and Section 43, subsection 2, right, subsection A of the Integrity Commission Act. More particularly, there were concerns that Mr. Holness' own assets disproportionate to his lawful earnings for the declaration period, and that he made false statements in his statutory declaration for the stated period. The referral from the commissioners inter alia indicates the following. Now, People, watch this now. The declaration net worth was calculated based on information that was included on the statutory declaration for the year ended 2021 and additional information provided by the declarant. The net worth grew by 51,555,000, right, and $76.22 over the 5 years period that ended 31/12/2021. This calculation includes the conversion of income and net worth from US to Jamaican dollars. Unexplained changes in the net worth was calculated as $4,491,798.43 net effect for the year ended 31/12/2021. Although the declarant's net worth appeared to align with income for some years, the growth of the net assets of companies for which the declarant had close family members are majority shareholders, and the actual contributions of the minority shareholders needed to be further examined. People, I'm going to show you something now. Honey, let us bring up Andrew Holness statutory declaration. Where am I going? Juliet Holness. Let me gather the people's time. Me know I'm not doing it. Just bring up the document. Bring up the document. You want it? Yes, me want it up. Meanwhile, okay. Where am I going? Juliet Holness in 2021 in the court said her property value $800 million. More the people get what I'm saying, you know. Remember that the Prime Minister and his wife filed together. And the 3 categories of filing would be income, assets,
liabilities.
And liabilities. I want the people to get what I'm saying. Now, people, watch this. We are going into the 20 statutory declaration. Right? Let's open it. Let us get into the 20 statutory declaration. Because we don't have to go through the order of them. We just don't go through the 20 showing, right? Jamaican people, big and bold, something. Thank you to Brown. All right. Now, people, this is Andrew Holness' salary as it relates to September 3, 2020, right between the period January 1st, 2020 to September 3, 2020. Now, salary. Let us look at salary, right? Income, assets, and liabilities. Right? So let us look on the income side. His salary is $10,487,000. That is what he said his salary is for. And I want people to write that down, 10 million. I'm going to show you how Andrew Holness, you understand, is lying straight through. So let me write that down. 10 million in 2020. More people have to see where I go tonight, you know. Now, reality income, right? 2,953,560. Security income, none. Other income, 6 million. Assets. Remember, Jamaican people, Juliet Holness is constructing an apartment building that value $800 million. So with on the asset side, we are going to search for that in the asset side. Saving account, $11 million, 836, 935. Current accounts, 697, 150. Pastor Ricky, I want to save a seat, you know. Security, 16 million, 255, 7440. Real estate, 7 million. Declarant estimated market value at 20 million. Now, other personal property, right? 0. Real estate mortgages, 0. I'm going to repeat that. Real estate mortgages, 0. Receivables, 0. Other business investment, only 129 million in. $773,412. Account receivable. People want to see it for themselves, you know. Okay. Now go to the liabilities. Real estate mortgage payable, $1,215,629. Notes payable, 0. Notes payable, 0. Other accounts, 14,771,359. Now, here it is. Total income, right? Based on all of these that added up here, where you see me move around the cursor, the total income would be $19,441,125.94. All of this here, people, see here, total assets, see the paper, see the evidence here, $172,506,402. Total liability, $15,986,000. Pastor Ricky.
Yeah.
You see the 800 million apartment.
No, and it doesn't include the Beverly Hills mansion for 300 US million either.
No, you see any of that in this?
No.
Ask the people in the chat if they see any of that in this.
So they lied on the statutory declaration.
No. So 2020, he might get 10 million in salary. Right? 2020. Let me just go a reverse audit here. Let's go 2019 now on it. We gotta show them something. So now they're not 2020. We gotta do a reverse back step. And remember that when Juliet Holness started out with this thing, you know, building the apartment complex, she started out with roughly about $21 million, you know.
Yeah.
And there are more expenditures added up until 2025 as it relates to the current market value of 800 million. Now, this is the 2019. Hey, paper, what make you think me say? Let me do a reverse audit. You know what people, you know what big dirty nasty liar, so. In 2020, Andrew Holness' salary was $10,487,000. People look up. In 2019, the Prime Minister's salary of $15 million. 347, 289. People from no busy come here. See the people in 2019. Now imagine. No.
So he had an inflow of $5 million.
Hold on, the people. People sit here. In 2019, the Prime Minister got 15 million. You see what them are like? You see what them are like? Them say, after get up. And then now know what them back footer say. Then now hear what them back footer say. No, people. 2019, Vita salary, Andrew Holness get 15 million. 347,289. That more than 30 to make up so I say. May I do a reverse audit? Right? A reverse audit may I do. So then in 2020, Andrew Holness I get 10 million and something. You understand? So Andrew Holness' salary dropped by about 5 million something.
Yeah.
People want to see them blatant lie them, you know. No want to see the blatant lie them. You do a reverse audit here, so. So the salary as a time to the other liar in 2019, see them in a tell no lie. See the date there? January 1, 2019 to December 31st, 2019. See the people, me not tell no lie on Andrew Holness, me not tell no lie on the JLP criminal mastermind. No one come people say, me not tell lie on him, me I show the evidence, you know, people.
You sure you never advertise?
You understand? And why if you know much me? See the paper. See the paper. In a 2019 now, his salary of 15,347,000. Reality income 2,143,000. But I'm going to show you something, people. What's the joke now? Other income, right? 604,290. What's the people? What's the joke now, people? Total income 18,090,000. But what's the now, people? If you go back to 2020, you know. Right? You're going to see something, you understand that we're going to laugh about, you know, but what are now people? No, saving account, 4,396,000, current account, $3,903,381.24, securities, $11,787,619.66, real estate, $7 million, right? Pastor Ricky, declaring estimate market value, right? 20 million. Right? 2019, you know. 2019, you know. Now, other business investment, $130,859,673. Right? Total assets, $157,947,181. Pastor Ricky.
Yes.
Do you see any 800 million?
No.
All right. Now, go down to the 2018 people. What's another excitement in our people? So, 2020, I get 10 million. But Shaki should I get more, you know? But him get less, as I can to him. I go down to 2018. I want the corruption prosecutor citizen. I want the corruption prosecutor citizen. I go to 2018. Watch your people. Think me around for them. Now around for them. Me only show people the corruption. So speak to people. 2018, right? January 1st, 2018, December 31st, 2018, him salary of 15 million, you know. So 2018 and 2019, he might get 15 million. But in a 2020, it only dropped to 10 million. People only see the criminality, only see the lie, only see the lie upon this, only establish the lie upon this. Now, when we go through here, so, you know, see nothing about no $800 million apartment. Total assets, 161,254,000. Take this away. Let me talk to the people. Pastor Ricky.
Yes, sir.
So based on the evidence that I presented, as it relates to Andrew Holness statutory declaration, I'm going to see a total disparity between 2018 and 2019. The Prime Minister gets 15 million. Now,
one sec, let me go back there asking if that salary is just for him or him and his wife alone. Let's go back and show them exactly what it says. Let's go back to the most recent.
Yes.
2020.
So the filing is okay.
So it says a name of declarant. So
okay, let me read it. So people to understand that this filing is for Andrew Holness and his wife, right? Name of declarant, Most Honorable Andrew M. Holness, summary of income, assets, and liability of declarant, spouse, and children as at January 1st to September 3rd, 2020. So this filing is for him and his wife.
His entire household and children.
His entire household and his children.
I think that's up until the election in 2020, September 3rd.
Exactly. And here it is, where I get him salary drop. You understand? So I get only 10 million. There's no point that. And in the 2018 and 2019, for both of them salary of 15 million. You understand me? I said? Padding the lies. Padding the lies to explain certain wealth. We know that that's a lie. Right? We know that that's a lie. Because in 2018, the Prime Minister, in 2018, the Prime Minister's salary, right, wasn't $15 million. So we have to show them evidence saying. So Pastor Ricky, when you see these things that relate to the three categories, the three years of statutory declaration, right? 2018, 2019, the Prime Minister showing that he was getting $15 million and that drop in to $10 million. But the greatest insight in all of this, as it relates to Juliet Holness' house, remember, so the Prime Minister and his wife, right, and his entire household need to fight. No, Juliet Holness have an apartment complex for $800 million. Have you seen that there? Your word on it, Pastor Ricky.
Yeah, the Integrity Commission Act was passed in 2017, and so they didn't really start doing the work till the following year, 2018, fiscal year 2018. And my understanding is that they were short-staffed. They didn't have enough staff because they were new, commissioned by Parliament. And so that's probably why they, at face value, did not really dig deep into his asset, liabilities, and income as it relates to 2018, 2019, 2020. Now, the Prime Minister lied on his statutory declaration, which is a breach of Section 43 that has a penalty. The same thing happened to Dalrymple, you know, with the Mercedes-Benz that she bought for $8.1 million. But with a 20% concession, she paid $6 million for it. But for 6 straight years, she did not declare that asset on her statutory declarations. And this is why she was in court. You know, this is why they slapped her with a slap on the wrist the other day. So he did the same thing Dalrymple did. And he should resign from office because that's a breach of the law. Dalrymple did the honorable thing and resigned from office and said she was going to clear her name because of the lies she told for 6 straight years. So when you look at the Prime Minister that was gazetted that you just went through, 2018, 2019, and 2020, and 2021, it makes no mention of his wife's asset. If you, anybody right now, if you, well, not right now, after the show, because we want you to stay engaged, but after the show, go on the Integrity Commission website and go on their statutory declarations. I believe it's under reporting, and look at a blank form of a statutory declarations. And it requires that the declarant fill out their asset, income, and liabilities for the, not only for themselves, but for their spouses and children. And they have to list onshore, offshore assets. That's offshore means overseas, like in St. Lucia or the Cayman Islands. And they have to list bank accounts. We didn't see none of the 28 bank accounts, but they have to list bank accounts onshore and offshore. So what this tells us that the Prime Minister breached the law, and he should be held accountable like Dalrymple. He's not qualified to be Prime Minister. He's not qualified to be on the ballot. He cannot be trusted to tell the truth. And we don't need a Prime Minister who cannot be honest and have integrity. This is another reason why he couldn't sign the Code of Integrity Leadership Code of Conduct, because there's no mentioning of the asset. As you look at the total value of assets, the $800 million should be there. His Beverly Hill mansion should be there. And so what the Integrity Commission needs to do, I'm not sure if it's in their act, I might have to look at it tomorrow, is that they have to go back now, if there's any provision in their act for them to go back to those years of 2020, 2019, 2018, when they were short-staffed, to revisit those statutory declarations and uncertify them. They should not be certified because he lied on them, which is a breach of the law, and he did not declare all assets of his wife, his spouse, apartment complex and lease flat, and he did not declare his Beverly Hill mansion, which is, according to Zara Burton investigation, it's worth at least 300 million US dollars. So those things are missing from the gazetted variation of what Sir Byron just went through. So he lied, and it's a breach of the law. Section 43 of the Integrity Commission says if you file a falsify a statutory declaration, it will come with a fine, and it will come to at least 6 months in prison. 1 year in prison. And so he breached the law, and that's a shame, because a prime minister should be above reproach. He's a lawmaker in the parliament, but yet he's a lawbreaker at the same time. And he should be held accountable, and he should resign from office and follow what Dalrymple did. And I believe the speaker didn't file for her building either. But of course, the Integrity Commission only put in the Gazette the leader of the opposition and the prime minister statutory declaration. They don't do that for nobody else except for those two persons. So we will never know what her statutory declarations are. But I believe that if he doesn't have it on his statutory declaration, which is a requirement, then she doesn't have it on hers either. Back over to you, Sir Byron.
Thank you very much. Now, Jamaica has reached a stage, particularly as it relates to many of the Jamaica Labour Party supporters are now jumping ship. Yes, people. Evidence of them jumping ship.
Yeah.
Right, and venting their disgruntlement with Andrew Holness administration. So let us just go through a couple of them, right, and hear what they have to say as to the reason why, you understand, they are calling a spade where that is concerned, and that is good. When one can lead from the root of their heartedness and be patriotic, right? That is a good sign. And of course, these are people who want some good governance, and of course, they are leaving the Andrew Holness-led administration. Without any delay, let us bring up this clip. Yeah. Let us bring up that clip and just show as it relates to why a lot of them, right, jumping ship. So Andrew Holness is in a peril. His administration is in a peril. People, listen to it.
People, I beg you now, take the time out and listen to what I say. I'm wanting to tag Mr. Andrew Holness in this to me. I'm wanting to like and share that one for me. Trust me, share it. Yeah, Mr. Andrew Holness, look for me good. Let me say something to you. I want you to listen to me cleanly. Yeah? Me are definitely born as a labourite. Looking for me at. Me born as a labourite. You understand what I say? Look for me again say. Yeah, when me I say to you, me hear you say minimum wage of $16,000. Good gosh, Mr. Andrew, man. Do better. Imagine a single mother and a single father. Where $16,000 can do? $16,000 can do nothing. You have 3 pitney send go school or 4 pitney send go school. Where $16,000 can do? You can't do nothing. What's that if you have a 3 pitney them and them I got 3 separate school? Like me. My 3 kids them we attend school right now at 3 separate school. One a basic school, one at all age, and one at secondary. Tell me now, where $16,000 can do? Come people, no help me check that one here. And member for like and share. Say the big one, we have a secondary. Say you give him $1,200 for the day. Yeah? You give the one we have got all age. 5,000. That's how much money? 6 and 5 at $11,000, yeah? The one we have got basic school. Yeah? Remember now, you have to pay tax if you bring him. Yeah? $3,000 a week or $3,500 a week. But we have put it at $3,000 a week. That's a $14,000 gone. You know, buy snacks fee yet. You know, buy juice fee yet. You know, buy fruits fee yet. You understand what I say? I mean, I thought this as a labor right. Andrew Holness, you have to do better, my Prime Minister. You have to do better. Yeah? So when you get $16,000 and have 3 people to send to school, where you going to put them out of it to pay a light bill? Where you going to put them out of it to pay a water bill? Where you going to put them out of it to pay rent? Where you going to put them for pay internet? Where you going to put them for go back to work? Mr. Andrew, yeah, I'm a Prime Minister. I must can talk to you.
Should be ashamed.
It can't work. It can't work. Me not work minimum wage, you know. Me work for myself. You understand? But me understand the people me out there where I work. You understand? Me not have to do this every day. I mean, I have to make this. But me concerned about the other black brother and my other black sister we out there work minimum wage for $16,000 and have 3 people send to school. Food no in it, you know. Breakfast no in it, you know. Dinner no in it, you know. We just a talk about them money for pay for go to school. Lunch money and bus fare. The $16,000 done. Where them I go eat in the morning? When them come from school, where them I go eat? Where you get money for go back to work? Come on, Mr. Andrew. Do better. The least a minimum wage worker for you get at 25, between $25,000 to $30,000. Between $25,000 to $30,000 at the least that. Because none of your councillor them and none of your MP them now get that. Then none of them now get that, you know. None of your councillor and none of your MP they now get that. None of the police they now get it. None of the teacher they now get it. So why the people them where do the dirty work? For them pay so small. Eh? Why the people them where do the dirty work and for them pay so small? Eh? And the whole of we are human. You need to do better, my Prime Minister. And the truth. And the truth, my boss. You need to do better. And people may ask, you know, please tag him in another one because I want him to hear it. I want him to hear it say is a born labor right to talk to him. $16,000 can't work for people. A joke thing that. You understand? A $5,000 a day I pay for my farm. $5,000 a day. Yeah? I mean, I have it. But you have to value people's energy and people's strength. You see me I say? And you're out there from 8 to 5.
Take him away, honey.
Yeah?
Next patient. Not a word for them. They are sure Andrew Holness the time come.
1 hour.
Right? And remember, let me talk to him because he's not putting something there yet. Because remember, say not put on the $2,000 to buy the Pro Box yet, you know. That not in it, you know. Eh? So who have never fear this, you know. The $2,000 come out and that what put on and save for buy the Pro Box. That not in it, you know. That not in it yet. So right. Let me go to the next clip. Clarendon boss. We can go to the next clip. I'm going to show Andrew Holness say, in people them are left him in drones.
Me live in a GLP stronghold, GLP area. I have never voted for PNP yet. And GLP no look upon we. So tapping eyes, man. Right now, me no change from GLP yet. Anytime me vote for Mark Golding, I so me left GLP. That's it for me still is a GLP right now. Because now me never put my finger in our ink for PNP. How much years now from me a boy till now? 2025 I first me I think about this. You hear that? So stop chat, man. As if you think me a PNP. You think me in a PNP? Me no born country for my father and no PNP, brother. The place where me live in is a GLP stronghold. You hear that? I feed them constituents. And we don't know water from me a boy. Shut up, man. And we don't hear people are chatting and go sit down on the buying.
Take it away.
Mighty God.
Take it away.
And our GLP strong.
I want the Tivalians them hear this, you know. The Tivalians them want to hear this, you know. Next, you show them how the GLP people them have left them, you know. So, when we look at all these mess, right? Time come.
Right now, when we look at the road, chasing that the long that they left over all low. Let's not look all low. Look on the straight road. Look at what done. All just behave like that. Man, we go one side, man. I think time move now, man.
Over the years in a power, and I don't see what he is doing to North, East, West, Northwest, St. Elizabeth. So you must go in, can expire, so you must go make a younger set come and take his seat. The last election, I don't vote for Ochi. So the next election, next year, then take a run, I will never vote if he no come out. We get here.
Him time has come, you know. In fool the people enough. And the people that make up their mind and you say, higher authority need to come on the ground. And come know what I want.
Take it away. Now, Pastor Ricky. You have seen Calamity now meeting out as it relates to the Jamaica Labour Party. From those clips, what you have to say, Pastor Ricky?
Well, we've been saying this, Sir Byron, and even though we go up on the Titans, we say that everybody has suffer, and not just GLP has suffer, UIC has suffer, and some of the comrades them has suffer, because guess what? Enough of them now have no water. Like it's mind-boggling to hear this guy say him grow up in a GLP stronghold and them not have no water all I'm life. I mean, when you look at cost of living so high, that food prices are so high that it takes away even the $1,000 when say man give them, because utility light bill gone up. Them take out the water pump them and the pipe them from the ground, and them little cronyism and nepotism behavior. Them have them own contract where them get from themselves, the government, and put out them own water truck and sell the people them water instead of allow water for going on the people them pipe. When you look at when the people them have to pay for rent, I mean rent has gone up. Nobody can buy a house again in Jamaica. The average house right now is between 30,000 and 40,000. I mean 30 million and 40 million for one bedroom. Single parents without two income are struggling in Jamaica. So remember, you know, them win off at 21%, you know, and he has not done anything to increase his base. And we all know that Jamaica a PMP country. The only way they win election is when the People's National Party comrades are divided and disgruntled. But when the PMP party is united, there's no way under the sun this JLP government can beat the People's National Party. The People's National Party base is bigger than the Jamaica Labour Party base. Let me say it again. The People's National Party base is bigger than the Jamaica Labour Party base. The Jamaica Labour Party supporters right now, demoralized, dejected, and dejected, demoralized, and they're also disgruntled. 3 Ds: demoralized, disgruntled, and dejected. And they're not going to vote. Enough of them are going to stay home. So if I'm winning 21% in a 2020, because he saw an opportunity and call elections 5 months before it was constitutionally due in February 2021. This time him can't call it because him base a shrink, no opportunity not there for him show off the People's National Party and win. And him says that the People's National Party is united behind Comrade Leader Mark Golden and his team led by Jensek, Dr. Campbell. And so he's panicking. That's why them are fight so hard for try to find a way to say them now go call the election when it's constitutionally due. But the people are suffering all across Jamaica. UIC, comrades, and JLP supporters, they all are feeling the pain when them go grocery store. Somebody told me right before I traveled last weekend that them go grocery store and them have to put back stuff. Them really want it, but them can't afford it. It's sad. What's in promise prosperity, but in bring poverty to the people. Them 2 million people go to bed nightly hungry or have no nutritional food to eat in Jamaica. They're starving under this government, but yet them give themselves 200 to 300% increase. I want to give people $1,000 increase. That's a crying shame. The devil is a liar, man. This is an uncaring government, a brutality government, a wicked government, and an evil government that is all about the money for themselves. Over to you, sir.
Yes, man. I love that, Pastor Ricky. Right, short, spicy, and nice. All right. Let us get into Andrew Holness, con and trickery. And so then we have seen that the Prime Minister has come out, right, and he's promising this, he's promising that, he's doing this, he's going there, he's going all over the place. And really and truly, you know, people that can help him.
Santa Claus in the spring.
But me tell us the people have gone with him, but he must try him uttermost best because he must tell himself say he can do it again. But really and truly, remember, lonesome cut off the knob. So him not understand say he can't turn up and it neither can turn down. You understand? Him just static. You understand? People leave him down. Now, people, watch this. Now, and we are on 3 more clips, and then we get into Jeopardy. So let us go through fast and then bring in Jeopardy people, right? No.
Yes, my labor rights, and yes, my Jamaicans. This election is about who will continue to change Jamaica for the better. Who will continue to build out the highways? Who will continue to build out the hospitals? Who will continue to build out the schools? Who will continue to build out the logistics hub? Who will continue to buy the new buses? Who will continue to buy the new garbage trucks? Who will continue to give the largest salary increases to public sector workers? Who will continue to build the houses? Who will continue to change Jamaica for the better?
All right, Andrew. I want to know who will continue to promise the people and not deliver. We will show them who will continue to promise the people and will not deliver. Wifey, play the next clip. Let us go. Who will continue to promise the people and not deliver. Look at this. Look at this, people.
Within our first 100 days of government, we will start the legislative process to fix the date for general elections in Jamaica. So no government will be able to come and make false promises and hide the truth and tell you half truths and trick you into voting for them. And then when them win, them throw on poison for you.
100 days to fix election dates. I wait for the promise to fulfill. One broken promise after another. Laughable, as I said. None of your promise not fulfill yet, boss. So there are we.
Within the first 100 days of our government, we will start the legislative process to institute impeachment proceedings in Parliament. This will add another layer of protection of the Parliament to ensure that only members of unquestioned integrity sit in the Parliament. All ministers under the new Jamaica Labour Party government will be given a job letter. That job letter has a timeline of 2 years and 6 months with key performance targets, which are agreed upon by the cabinet, focused on two things: economic growth and job creation.
Andrew, you need to do what you said from 2016. You say you're going to put it on paper. So anything you put on paper, the MP have to work with it. So you need to do it now. I feel like, say, when you do that, the MP will do them work and we will see work done in the community.
Within the first 100 days of government, we will start the legislative process to introduce term limits on the office of Prime Minister.
And Holness, January, him break him promise and nothing him say I'm gonna do, you know, for the next 100 days and now him not do nothing. Him not keep no promise and him say I'm the promise keeper. What a promise, January star.
At a convenient time within our new government, we will hold a grand referendum on the CCJ, the Caribbean Court of Justice, as the final appellate court.
You make so much promise for us. Look how long you've been there. Wow. Nothing done. All for the COVID, they promised the people them $25,000. Nothing done. Huh? So what you expect me to do? Tell me if you sleep with the door and window open and nothing done.
All right. And Jamaica, for the final clip for the night, before Pastor Ricky break it down, let us show the people why Jamaican people need to stay away from Andrew Holness. Because in this clip, yes, you are going to use this clip, right, to make up your mind why you need not to vote for Andrew Holness. We need to run away from him, right? So let us give the reason as to why Jamaican people need to reject this man.
Sometimes the truth is an offense, but God see I know me not sin by the people of Jamaica. We have sinned against the people of Jamaica. We have sinned against our fellow man. Tell them the truth. Sometimes the truth hurt. Sometimes the truth is an offense. But you know me not sin by the people of Jamaica. We have sinned against the people of Jamaica. We have sinned against our fellow man.
All right. Pastor Ricky, coming to the space. When you see a topic like this, what do you have to say?
Be not deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man sow, that shall he reap. And the world call it karma. But the Bible says, what him sow, him a go reap. And that a reach him. He has become Santa Claus in the spring to be making all these wishful promises. Have nothing in the 9 wasted years that he's been in government as an accomplishment to show the people why he deserved to be re-elected and his government. He has not done anything but enriching in himself. $3 trillion stolen from the treasury. And from that $3 trillion, $12.2 billion was stolen from the office of the prime minister. He had an account in SSL in ADMAT. And then we learned that 31 million US dollars stolen in SSL. And the NHT funds, NIS funds, NHF funds, and the Banana Board funds accumulated to be over $1.2 billion. So the whole total SSL scandal and theft and heist is a total of $4.5 billion that he was a partner of that scheme. When we look at the IC report, it speaks of money laundering, tax evasion, racketeering, embezzlement, conspiracy to commit investment fraud with Beretta, getting a $50 million loans with 3 proposed collateral that he didn't have, abuse of power. This prime minister is unfit to be re-elected. He should not be on the ballot. He should not be in government. The only thing is he deserves is a prison term. And many people said, why I'm going to prison in Jamaica. But I said, no. Well, why I'm going to prison in America? Because in Jamaica, links run Jamaica. Everybody know that. And yes, I'm going to have all the links for making him have cell phone in a prison and have tablet. No, oh, I'm the hard labor. So send him come to America, Rockers Island, or Alcatraz out in the sea, and make him the hard labor for the criminality and the crimes, financial crimes. This guy cannot be trusted. From 2016, he make a lot of unrealistic promises, empty promises that you just show. I don't have the time to go over them, but we all know what they are. And yet he has failed to deliver or to fulfill any of the promises. The Jamaican people has had enough. The time come is a perfect slogan for this season and this criminal prime minister that we have in the government. It's time for him to go to prison. And yes, one last point. I heard him says that, this is the Holy Week, and, we as born-again believers, we are memorializing what our good Lord and Savior Jesus did for us. Our beautiful comrade leader, Mark Golden, went to church Sunday past, Palm Sunday, and, talk about Jesus riding on a donkey into Jerusalem, which is what the scripture teaches. But this prime minister was talking about smooth sayers. Smooth sayer in the Bible is a palm reader or a psychic, a fortune teller that tells the future. I mean, we not embracing any smooth sayers, and I'm glad I get the chance to say, because this is what this bothers me. And when he first became prime minister, he tried to implement or introduce or legalize obia in Jamaica. We all know what obia is, which is an abomination unto the Lord. And now I'm going to talk about smooth say. The Bible says, so as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So the way a man think in his heart is what comes out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh. And so that's like we had Barabbas and they had Jesus. And when Pilate said, which one of the two shall I give you? And the people say, away with Jesus. We don't want him. Give us Barabbas. Well, we had Barabbas since 2016. And now we're saying, away with Barabbas. We don't want Barabbas. Over to you, Sir Byron. Amen.
All right. Thank you for that. Is where we break off tonight. I want to say a big thanks to Pastor Ricky, right, for those, articulate breakdown analysis, right? We always welcome that with Pastor Ricky on point, delivering that sort of skill set for us. Now, and I want to say big thanks to all of our listeners, persons who tune in on this Good Friday. All right, I want to hand over this program to Wifey for Jeopardy.
Listen, lady, Sir Byron. Everyone in the chat, go to church on Easter Sunday. Blessings, respect.
All right. Okay. Thank you, Pastor Ricky. All right. Jeopardy. We are on. All right. Once again, people, thank you for passing through and make it Mystic Sensation. All right. Blessings.
Okay, guys, thank you so much again. Really appreciate each and everyone. Thank you for your participation in the discussion. So now we're going to go into Jeopardy, where we're going to be playing for credit. Let me just share the screen. So we are going to be playing for phone credit. It's 1,000 Jamaican dollars credit for the persons with the most points. And then we have 4 runners up of $500 credit each, Jamaican, Digital, or Flow. The questions are in the form of a statement. You answer in the form of a question. If it's a place or thing, then you answer what is. And then if it is the name of a person, then you start with who is and then the answer. So as usual, we're going to throw out a category for how many points. And the first category that I see is what we're going to start with. Tonight's categories are mathematics, Jamaican dances, Jamaican proverbs, Jamaican TV shows, and Jamaican childhood games. So those are the categories that we are working with tonight. So somebody throw out a category and for how many points so that we can get the game started. And then we will continue until the board is empty. Give me the orange book, please. Okay. Jamaican proverbs for 300 says Dunmill. Same knife, stick sheep, complete the proverb. Same knife, stick sheep, complete the proverb. Same knife, stick sheep. Let me see this chat and the phone not working stuff. Well with me. All right, same knife, stick sheep. Remember, you have to start with what is your answer in the form of a question. All right, let me just go to that page. And that is a double, oh shucks, it pick it up already. It's a double your score answer. So the points gonna be double because we're just starting. So it's gonna be 600 points for the correct answer there. And I see the answer that I am looking for. Make sure that it's in the form of a question. So you have to answer what is with the answer. All right, and it is what is stick goat. So same knife, stick sheep, stick goat, and that is for 600 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. And remember, you have to refresh the page in order to see the order in which the answers came in. So first on the board with the correct response is Donmel for 600 points. And others came in with stick goat as well. Some people didn't put it in a sentence form, but nevertheless, the answer came in. And he is continuing with Jamaican proverbs for 400. All right. Another same day leaf drop a water bottom, complete the proverbs. Another same day leaf drop a water bottom. Another same day leaf drop a water bottom to complete the proverb. And that is for 400 points. Remember, guys, you have to answer in the form of a question. Start with what is and then the answer. All right, I see the answer I'm looking for. No delays. And it is, what is it rotten? So I know the same day leaf drop of water bottom, it's rotten. All right, so that is for 400 points. Let me release the board. Let me see who first came in with the correct, put this down here, with the correct response. Dunmel for 400 points. And others also came in with it's rotten. Some people have it in the form of a question, some people don't. So remember, guys, in order for your answer to be considered, it has to start with what is for place or thing, or who is, and then the answer for name of a person. So it's continuing with Jamaican proverbs for 500. If you're born for hang, complete the proverbs. If you're born for hang, complete the proverbs. Specify. All right. I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is, what is you can drone or you cannot drone, whichever way you put it, whether in a patois or in the standard English, it will fly. So if you're born for hang, you can drone, and that is for 500 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. All right, let's see, we started there. And remember the spelling count, guys. All right, what is your can't drone? And that is Charmin.
Charmin?
Yes.
Much for that?
500 points. And other persons also came in with what is your cannot drone or you can drone.
So the score as it is, Charmin on 500 points and Daniel 1,000 points.
All right, so Charmin, choose the next question, and for how many points? Okay, so choose the next category, Charmin. You need to choose a category from the board, whether mathematics or proverbs or whichever one, and just how many points you're choosing it for, like 100, 200, 300. Are you still there, Charmin? You need to choose. I'll give you another couple seconds. If not, I'm just gonna choose and continue. Sherman, are you still there? You need to choose a category and for how many points. Just refresh. All right, so we're going to continue with Proverbs for 200. Fire there must steal, complete the proverb. Fire there must steal. Empress, bless up yourself.
Bless
Happy
up
Good
yourself,
Friday.
Empress.
Good to see you, Empress. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is in Think a Cool Breeze, and that is for 200 points. So let's see who picked up those 200 points. Let me just refresh. What is in Think is Cool Breeze? All right, so first on the board with the correct response is the Empress for 200 points. Empress for 200 points.
Empress for 200 points.
In Think a Cool Breeze. And other persons also came in with him Think a Cool Breeze. All right, so Empress, choose the next category and for how many points? There's Truck Life and all the others. Oh. So choose the next category. Oh, 200 math. William charges his customers $55 for every hour he works. If he spent 2 hours removing a broken pipe and 3 hours installing a new pipe, he should charge this amount of money. So William charges his customers $55 every hour he works. If he spent 2 hours removing a broken pipe and 3 hours installing a new pipe, he should charge this amount of money. Donald, you said he think his cool breeze. The saying is him think a cool breeze. It's him think a cool breeze, not he think is cool breeze. All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for, and it is, what is 275? So the 2 hours plus the 3 hours is 5 hours of work, and he charges dollars per hour. So 55 times 5 equals 275. So that's how we came up with that. So it's $275. So let me see who first came in with the correct response. Nia. And that is for 200 points, NIA.
That's for Nia.
Yeah. 275. Others came in with 275 as well. Truck Life also came in with 275. All right, Nia, choose the next category and for how many points? Empress Axie, what go on?
Bless up yourself, Empress. Yeah, man, everything is good.
Next says max for 500. If you have 8 magnets and cut them in halves, then cut all halves in half, you will have this many magnets. So if you have 8 magnets and cut them in halves, then cut all halves in half, you will have this many magnets. All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for, known delays, and it is what is 32. So the initial amount is 8, and then you cut them in half. So you increase the amount in terms of the pieces that you're gonna have. So that is 8 times 2 equals 16, and then with the 16 pieces that you have, you again cut those halves in half, and then you get 32. So you're going to end up with 32 pieces of magnets when you finish cutting them up. And that is for 500 points. Let's see. Or you could just say 4, it's 32. First on the board with the correct response is Dunmel for 500 points. And others also came in with 32. So, Dunmel, choose the next category and for how many points? JT. Oh, Jamaican dance is for 300. Look left, look right, swing your hand like you're bad, then double, then out. These are moves included in this dance. So name the dance. Look left, look right, swing your hand like you're bad, then double, then out. These are moves included in this dance. 300. Okay. Number 3. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for. Somebody know them dances, man. All right, and it is what is Willie Bounce. So that is moves in the dance Willie Bounce, and that is for 300 points. So let's see who picked up those 300 points. Truck Life. And Dancer Savior also got Willie Bounce, but didn't put it in the form of a question, and other persons also. The person got it. 300 points. Remember, guys, you have to answer in the form of a question, what is, and then the answer, and if it's the name of a person, then it's who is, and then the answer. So it's swinging back over to math for 400. There is 198 medical staff members working in the hospital. So a total of 198 working in the hospital. 34 are doctors, 95 are nurses, and the rest are assistants. There is this many assistants. So how many staff is working as assistants? So you have a total of 198. Of that 198, 34 are doctors, 95 are nurses, and the rest are assistants. How many assistants work in the hospital? All right, I see the answer I'm looking for, known delays, and it is what is 69. So in order to find the assistants, so we have 198 medical staff. So they told us that 34 are doctors and 95 are nurses. So that's the information we have so far apart from the total. So what we're going to do is add the 34 and the 95 to get 129. And in order to find out the amount of assistants that's working, we take the 129 from the 198 and we get 69. So there are 69 assistants working in that hospital. Let's see who first came in with the correct response. It starts there. Truck Life.
Much points?
400 points. And a lot of persons also came in with 69. Remember, guys, you have to answer in the form of a question. All right, so math for 300 says Truck Life. And it's a double point answer, so it's going to be 600 points for the correct response. Rifle bullets can travel at speeds of about 3,000 kilometers per hour. If a meteor enters Earth's atmosphere at 48,000 kilometers per hour, how many times faster is it traveling than the speed of a bullet? So a rifle bullets can travel at a speed of about 3,000 kilometers per hour. If a meteor enters Earth's atmosphere at 48 kilometers per hour, how many times faster is it traveling than the speed of a bullet? All right, let me see the chat. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, known delays, and it is 16 times faster. So you're going to divide the 48,000 by 3,000 and you get 16. So it's traveling 16 times faster than the speed of bullets, and that is for 600 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Nia, for 600 points. And everybody else came in with 16. All right, saying math for 100, so completing, oops, what just happened? Completing math, okay, there we go. So completing math. A tsunami in the deep ocean can travel at speeds of over 950 kilometers per hour. At this rate, how long would it take a tsunami in the deep ocean to travel 3,800 kilometers? So a tsunami in the deep ocean can travel at speeds of over 950 kilometers per hour. At this rate, how long would it take a tsunami in the deep ocean to travel 3,800 kilometers? How long? All right, I see the answer I'm looking for, known delays, and it would take 4 hours. So 3,800 divided by 950 equal 4. So that's 4 hours it would take. All right, and that is for 100 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response, because I see a lot of 4s there. Truck Life, and everybody else also came in with 4 hours. Bless up yourself, Tiffany.
And how much for Truck Life?
100. Jamaican Dance for 500, says Truck Life. This is a Jamaican dance typically performed by young women. Name the dance. This is a Jamaican dance typically performed by young women. All right, I see the answer, and it is, what is dirty wine? So that is for 500 points. Let's see who picked up those points. Truck Life.
How much?
500 points. Sorry, Empress. It's not dirty wine, it's dirty wine. All right, and others also came in with dirty wine. Okay, dance it for 400. Okay. So 400 says Truck Life. Name this dance. Named after a longtime favorite of children and adults program. Named after a longtime favorite of children and adults program. Name the dance. Favorite children and adults program. It came on PBS channel. You have PBS in that channel? All right, let me give you a clue. The big yellow bird. Teach children how to read and write. And teach them about the alphabet and all of those things. The big yellow bird that goes down on a street with Oscar the Grouch. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is what is Sesame Street, and that is for 400 points. Let's see who picked up those 400 points. Truck Life for 400 points. Oops. Okay, it still came back and got it because of the spelling. Okay, so it still got it. All right. Just double check the spelling again. All right, so dance for 200. This is an upgraded version to the dance, Nolinga. So it's an upgraded version of the Nolinga dance. What name the dance? All right, I see the answer that that's a little big bird. So I see the answer that I'm looking for, and it is what is clean sweep, and that is for 200 points. So let's see. I see persons put sweep, but you have to have the clean in front of it. And Empress for 200 points. What is clean sweep?
Empress.
Empress 200 points. All right, Empress, next category, and for how many points? Okay, GTS for 200. In this TV show, schools across the island compete to see who is most knowledgeable in a number of subject areas. In this TV show, schools across the island compete to see who is most knowledgeable in a number of subject areas. What I said? Okay. Let's see how to. Okay, how to end it is. All right, let me see. All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for, and it is Schools Challenge Quiz. All right, I'm just looking at where the apostrophe is. It's on the outside, as well as some areas don't have the apostrophe, while some do. So first one I see the apostrophe is on the outside, and that is going to be correct. If there's no apostrophe, then that is still fine. All right, and that is for 200 points. So let's see who picked up those 200 points. Oops, non-Melia left off the S of school. Empress for 200 points.
Score as it is Charmaine on 500 points, Empress 600 points, Nia 800 points, Dunman 1500 points, and Chuck Life 1700 points.
Wow. All right, choose the next category and for how many points, and who did I say? Empress, choose the next category and for how many points? Yes, for 300. This TV show is currently hosted by Dion Jackson Miller. Everybody run out. This TV show is currently hosted by Dion Jackson Miller, and that is for 300 points. Everybody run out. All right, I see the answer, and it is What Is All Angles, and that is for 300 points. Let's see who first came in with the correct response, because so many people or so many persons came up with all angles. And let's check the spelling. So Truck Life.
Truck Life, how much points?
300. So Truck Life, choose the next category and for how many points? So it's completing dance for 100. This dance is also named after a model car and came about in 2006. This dance is also named after a model car and came about in 2006. Name the dance. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is What Is Stucky or Stucky, whichever way you spell it. But I know people who put QQ at the correct idea, but they're naming the artist instead of the song. All right, so Stucky. So that would be Truck Life. Truck Life for 100 points. So Truck Life, choose the next category and for how many points? Chicken noodle soup. Proverbs, he's completing Proverbs. The older the moon, everybody run out. The older the moon.
I shine bright.
It's even it's me just push it up for the chair. Even one thing just me push off for the chair. All right. So the older the moon, the brighter it shines. So there should be a S at the end of shine. So the older the moon, the brighter it shines. And that is for 100 points. So let's see who picked up those 100 points. Oshmekwana. What is the brighter it shines? Okay, Empress for 100 points.
Empress 100 points.
And I just made sure I consulted Google for the correct. So it says the brighter it shines. All right, so choose. I have 2 categories left. So choose a category and for how many points? It shines. Put this on the end. GT is for 400. And this is a double point answer, so it's 800 points. Miss Zella, Mas Gossi, Mas Donald, Johnny, Miss Upton, name the TV show. Miss Zella, Mas Gossi, Mas Donald, Johnny, Miss Upton, name the TV show. Autocorrect messing you up there, so done mail. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and that is for 800 points, and it is what is Lime Tree Lane, and that is 800 points because it's a double point answer. Let's see who first came in with the correct response. Truck Life.
Much.
800.
Oh.
All right.
Life blaze it.
I tell you. Truck Life, next category, and for how many points? Okay, shows for 500. Ted Blackburn, Julia Blackburn, Tiny Whiny, name the show. Everybody run out. Ted Blackburn, Julia Blackburn, Tiny Whiny. All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for. And what is Royal Palm Estate? And that is for 500 points. All right, let's see who picked up those 500 points. Let me refresh. And guys, if you have not yet given a thumbs up, please do so. That will be greatly appreciated. Steve, Tiffany for 500 points. Tiffany for 500 points, and then others also came in with Royal Palm Estate.
Tiffany for 500 points.
Mm-hmm. Triple F, sir. Okay, Tiffany, next category. And for how many points? Completing shows for 100. This popular TV show used to be hosted by Ian Boyne. Everybody run out. This popular TV show used to be hosted by Ian Boyne. Everybody run out. All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for, and it is what is profile, and that is for 100 points. Let's see who first came in with the correct response. Empress for 100 points, and others also came in with profile.
Empress for 100 points.
Yes. And then we're down to childhood games, so one category left. So all you need to do is just put the points. You don't have to put the category. Just put the amount of points you want that for. Take that one, 200. Shift, jump, and sometimes it's supposed to be bend down. Shift, jump, and sometimes bend down. Name the game. Shift, jump, and sometimes bend down. Name the game. That is for 200. All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for. No delays, and it is what is Dandy Shandy, and that is for 200 points. So those 200 points, yeah, Dandy Shanty are sightings. Sight in the middle, yes. Let me see. Let me just refresh. Staffing. All right, so Truck Life 200 points. Truck Life, how many points? 500. Oops, I didn't. Okay. Pitching glass balls. Everybody run out. Pitching glass balls. Pitching glass balls. Pitching glass balls. Just trying to get back in the chat, guys. I was kicked out of the chat. Come on. Share. Use this one. Okay, there we go. Back up. All right, I see the answer that I'm looking for, and it is what is marbles, and that is for 500 points. And there's so many marbles that come up. So let's see. Crying out loud. All right. Truck Life, 500 points. And everybody else also came in with marbles.
So 500 points.
Tell you. How many points now, Truck Life? 400. Bat and ball. A bat and a ball.
Score.
Name the game. Them answering. Hold on. A bat and a ball.
Score as it is. Tiffany and Charmaine on 500 points. Nia, 800 points. Empress, 800 points. Danmel, 1,500 points. And Truck Life, 3,600 points.
Lyndon is who answers the question correctly first. All right, let's see. So the correct answer is cricket, and that is for 400. So let's see who first came in with the correct answer. Empress. And others came in with the correct answer. Nia.
How much points with Empress?
400.
Wow.
All right, so okay, so she's saying 300. Jumping boxes. Everybody run out. Jump in boxes. All right, I see the answer that I am looking for, and it is what is hopscotch. And that is for 300 points. So let's see who first came in with the correct response. Oops, Nia, you had typo there with the spelling. So spelling counts, so the spelling has to be correct. Hopscotch. Empress.
Empress?
Yeah.
Much points?
300. All right, and then it's just 100 left, so I'll just reveal that. The game that can badly hurt your fingers. The game that can badly hurt your fingers. Name the game. The game that can badly hurt your fingers. And there's a song about it when they're doing it. It used to be a very lucrative job back in the 70s, the 80s. And they used it to build the road to put on the surface of the not to give them a clue because of the answers that's coming up. On the surface of the ground before they lay the asphalt and all of that. It's part of the structuring of the road. And a lot of women used to go out early in the morning to go do this, and you sit down until you get a good heap. And then somebody come pay you for the heap, and the government use it on the road surface. So what is the name? If you're singing the song, what is the name of the game? All right, I see the closest answer I am going to give. So the answer is Broke Rock Stone. So go down Emmanuel Road, get on boy, finger broke rock stone. Broke them one by one, get them boy. Finger mash no cry, get on boy. So that's for 100 points, and the board is empty. So wait, why am I not? Oops. What did I do? Oh, that's ours. Oh, right now. What is happening? One sec, guys. There's something happening with the screen here. To be kidding me. Okay, there we go. All right. So
You're echoing.
So tell us there's something going on.
Who's one? Who's one?
All right. The echo is not now?
Yeah.
No. Hold on. Why is it?
Speak.
Not allowing to close it. All right. I do. There we go. Okay, sorry about that. So we have come to the end of Jeopardy. Thank you so much, guys, for participating. Congratulations to everyone who participated and was able to answer.
Hold on, we have a tie with
How many persons on the board?
Charmaine and Tiffany 6. So Charmaine and Tiffany need to play alone.
Okay, welcome, Abina. Bless up yourself. All right, so Charmaine and Tiffany have a tie.
Yeah. They both tied on 500 points.
Okay. What is the lowest score there?
500 between Tiffany and Charmaine.
What is the next score?
800.
So 3,600, 1,500.
So 6 persons, you know. So they have to go 6 persons.
What I'm trying to ask. Okay, the two lowest score is 500.
Yeah,
that's why. Okay. All right, let me just bring up another template, and we're gonna do a square off for the tie there.
And bring in Empress and Danmel in it because they both have 1,500.
If they have 1,500, both of them can still go on the board. It's just the last two.
Okay.
All right, I'm just gonna pick a template. All right, so this is just for Tiffany and who you said?
Tiffany and Charmaine.
Tiffany and Charmaine.
Is Charmaine still participating? I don't think so.
Charmaine, are you still there?
I don't
Just
think
type
Charmaine
yes.
is still
No, just type yes in the chat, Charmaine, if you're still there. Oh, Tiffany said to give it to the next person that tie with her. That's Charmaine, but I'm not even sure if
Charmaine is not.
Charmaine is still there.
Yeah, Charmaine. I don't think Charmaine is still there. So Tiffany would have to take it.
Okay, Charmaine, are you still there? Because it's the first I'm seeing that person, because I don't have any information regarding that person, numbers and stuff. All right, so read the score. So congratulations to all the winners. Thanks for your participation. Congratulations, as I was saying before, to everyone who was able to answer. And congratulations to everyone who made the board. Thank you so much for your continued support. Really appreciate each and every one. You finished, Darlene?
Yeah. So okay. Yeah. So it is.
The girls, the Sherman gone to our bed.
Yeah. Okay. So we give that to Tiffany. So the score, Tiffany on the board for 500. Nia 800 in fourth place. Right. Both Empress and Danmel tied. Right. For second place, 1,500 each. And Chuck Light take the night away with 3,600 points.
All right, Andrew, send me late. Bless up yourself, Andrew. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Good Friday to everyone.
So you need this?
Okay, so you read out the score already?
Yeah.
Jesus, which part me there? All right, so congratulations to everyone. Really appreciate each and everyone continued support. Thank you to our new subscribers tonight, and welcome to the Mystic family.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. And guys, if you haven't yet thumbs up the live, please go ahead and do so. Oh, Nia. Sorry, Nia. I forgot that Nia is new. So Nia, the number is streaming across the screen at the bottom there. It's a WhatsApp number. So what you're gonna do is message me on WhatsApp with that number. Let me put it in the chat as well. Sorry, Nia, it's because I have everybody else's information. I forgot you are you're new with getting the credit. And it's WhatsApp. So you're gonna message me on WhatsApp, and then you're gonna give me the number, and it has to be a Jamaican number that you want the credit sent to, and you're gonna tell me whether it's Digital or Flow. I need to have the provider in order to send you the credit. So the number, and tell me whether it is Digital or Flow number, and then you'll get your credit. So your credit is 500. So we have one winner of 1,000 Jamaican dollars, and then the 4 runners up, which you are one of the runners up near, which is gonna be 500 Jamaican dollars credit. And thank you so much for your participation. Really appreciate you. All right. So again, guys, thank you so much for tuning in on your Good Friday. Really appreciate everyone. Hope everyone had a good serving of bun and cheese, and I hope buying the bun and the cheese and burn a big hole in your pockets to know what's going on down there now. So, but nevertheless, Hope you're having a wonderful Easter so far. Oh, Empress is putting in my Instagram information. They can also message me on Instagram too, if you so desire, but you can also use the WhatsApp. Thanks, Empress. You can also use the WhatsApp number there. All right, so guys, I'm not gonna delay because if you notice, we thought I got through it quickly tonight because we're both tired of work last night and didn't get much sleep, and I'm working in the morning, so I have to go get some sleep, and then I have to wear my glasses because I wasn't seeing properly because my eyes are not fully rested. All right, so guys, thank you so much. Really love and appreciate each and everyone. And Mr. Rattigan is gonna be on tomorrow, his usual time. He sent out a message that he's gonna be having his show tomorrow because he's not been feeling well. He's still not 100%, but he's gonna have his show tomorrow from the message that was sent out. So make sure you tune into Rattigan, Reason with Rattigan tomorrow at 3 p.m. New York time, and whatever the time difference is for Jamaica and wherever else you are in the world. And also make sure you tune into all the other platforms that are spreading the message and informing our people so that we can make informed decision when the time comes.
All right.
All right. So thank you guys. Really appreciate each and everyone. Have a wonderful rest of the weekend, and we'll see you on Tuesday. All right. Bless up yourself and safe travel on the gravel.
Safe travel on the